What's going on, college football fans, man? A lot of good football today. Y'all know what time it is, man. I'm your guy, Coach I, the Fanatic Sports Network, man. We're going to talk about all the good games today, man. I'm talking about from the start to finish, Michigan, Penn State, all the way to Georgia, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and Texas, both on the scene. And then we got a late game that we'll be doing a game watch along while we talk about the other games, man. So come on in. Tell a friend to tell a friend, bring a friend on in, man, so we can do this thing. Welcome into the Saturday night snap count.
No, I got you on this one, Coach. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The fanatic. Where we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah. FANATTIC. The fanatic, where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call.
That's right, man. We in here for another episode of the Saturday Night Snap Count on the Fanatic, man. Listen, talking college football wrap up, man. If you are new to the show, man, just to let you know a little bit about what we do, we talk college football pretty much all the time. We got a couple other shows as well, man. Talk a little NBA basketball and hoops on Wednesdays. But tonight, every Saturday night at 10:30 Eastern, we always talk college football, man. Right now, we got a couple of games ending, such as Texas, TCU. Ohio State looks to be taking care of Michigan State. BYU, Iowa State just started, and Oklahoma seems to be handling West Virginia. Then you got that USC, Oregon on the docket, man. So we always bring content creators on to talk college football with us. You know what I'm saying? So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button, man. Share it with a friend. Bring them on in and then get in the comments and put your opinions as we talk about the games, man. And I'm going to bring in my co-host, man, is South Carolina fan Jeff the Stat Guy. What's going on, Stat?
Yo, what up, Coach?
Hey, man, looking better, man. You can do that. Hey, so Stat got the games going. If we need some score updates, we'll just check with Stat, man. How you feeling today, man? Y'all got that big win over Vandy, dog.
Hey, man, went and had 40-piece the Sisters of the Poor of the SEC. I'll take it. We got the ball rolling. Got Kentucky rolling in next weekend under the lights. Hey, November to remember, baby. Let's get it.
That's big facts, man. Hey, man, we're gonna go ahead and bring in another guest, man. We got my guy Seawalt, man. Listen, fourth down. What is it? What's the name of your channel, Seawalt?
Fourth and Goal with Seawalt.
Fourth and Goal with Seawalt, man. He's been on the channel a couple of times, man. Welcome on in, man. Big win for the Clemson Tigers.
Hey, man, thanks for having me on again. Yeah, it's been a big win 2 weeks in a row. Those purple and orange Tigers look like they were finally ready to play some football this year. So it's been a good week for me.
Big facts. You've been watching football all day, or did you kind of check out after the Clemson got the good win?
Nah, I'm watching the Florida LSU right now.
What's that score? What's that score?
38-28.
LSU. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, that's what's up, man. We get some people in the house already. My guy Nathan, what's going on, Nathan? Mike Wilkinson, what's going on, man? Hey, listen, 8 pull it. Hey, Coach, I'm as soon as 8 pulling this one out. Hey, listen, man, they are putting it on them, man, for sure. Then my girl Shelby, what's going on, Shelby? BYU has 2 turnovers in the first. Shelby, I'm watching it. I'm telling you, like, how do you get inside? You can't even get out the first, like, third of the first quarter without having 2 turnovers, bro. It's gonna be a long night for BYU, man. So shout out to the seniors for the Georgia Bulldogs, man. It was senior night in Athens today, but we're gonna start from the beginning, man. Let's talk about that Clemson game. See, Walt, man. Hey, man, what's your thoughts? You got a big win over Georgia Tech, man. Hey, and as a Georgia fan, we appreciate you.
Yeah, as always, man. Look, I get it. It's Georgia Tech, right? But they've gotten better over the past couple of years. They've been putting some points up this year. But overall for us, it was a big game for the true freshmen. We had 4 true freshmen with interceptions, 1 with a pick 6. Tyler Brown, 1-handed catch in the end zone, ridiculous catch.
Mm-hmm.
So the offensive line took a little step back again, I think, this week compared to last week. But all in all, it was a pretty good week. Probably the best or second best game we've played all season. So it looks like they're gaining momentum and they're building off of what they've done.
Yeah, I think so, man. I was watching that game early, and honestly, I thought it was going to get more out of hand than it was. Mike Wilkinson says, did Stat Guy pick West Virginia? No, he didn't. He did not pick West Virginia.
You already know I picked West Virginia, Coach Josh.
Yes, he did, Mike. My bad. He did pick West Virginia. Listen, the Stat Guy's y'all lucky charm when he picks with y'all. I think he picked y'all in the Texas game. I mean, not the Texas game, the Kansas game. My bad. Stat, you got a chance to see them Clemson Tigers, man. What you think? I know it's rough. You got the dogs there, man. They say they want to be on camera too, Stat.
Yeah, they fired up tonight. The Clemson looked good today, and Will Shipley was back. It felt like he was running with a little bit of purpose. I was glad to see Maffa still get a lot of touches, though. It did not go back to how it was before the injury, but he took another shot today that wasn't called, which was super surprising. But Clemson definitely feels like they got it figured out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to let you handle Cujo back there. Hey, Shawty, what's going on? My guy Shawty in the building, man. He said, "Oh, how the mighty has fallen and win over Tech." Hey, man, at this point, I'm pretty sure Seawald agrees, man. He'll just take it how he can get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at 5-4, man, you got to take that W. Just go get a W. Try to finish out 8-4 for the regular season.
Big facts, man. Big facts. It's like that, man. So, hey, listen, Clemson, like you said, played a really good game today. And I'm with you. Listen, I'm trying to think if they played a better game, maybe against Notre Dame. But Tyler Brown, man, local kid here in South Carolina. Good friends with his dad, man. Grew up with his dad. Shout out to Tyler Brown with the one-handed catch, man. That dude is hungry, man. He is definitely helped that wide receiver core out for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's turning into that alpha for us, man. He's kind of that guy, even with Antonio Williams. He's hurt right now, but
I think even if
you put
back,
Williams, even you put him on the field, he's still, I think, going to be that guy over Williams. But
yeah, so you guys got trying to think who you guys got left. You got South Carolina left, and then you got North Carolina. So how you feeling? I know North Carolina was playing Duke. Stat guy, you got a score on that or Seawalk?
26-14 North Carolina.
All right. So how you feeling going into that weekend, Seawalk against North Carolina?
I feel better than I would have 3 or 4 weeks ago. Considering Riley Leonard's out, I'm kind of surprised that it's not a bigger deficit in that game right now.
Yeah. Well, it's a rivalry game, and Duke is really physical at the point of attack in the trenches, and also they got a really good defense. So
they do have good defense. We found that out pretty early in the season. North Carolina's defense is kind of getting worse as the season goes on. They kind of look like that defense from last year.
Yeah,
that's a tough game for me to predict right now, because you like to think your defense is going to do enough like they did in the ACC championship game last year to kind of hold UNC offense down. But I still don't trust Clemson's offense enough to put enough points up score to win the game.
For sure.
Not saying we're going to lose, but we've got to figure.
You got to figure out how to score some more
points.
Got. Yeah. Hey, my guy Mars Jams getting in. What's going on, Mars? Hey, Mars, keep predicting those dog games, man. You predicted a blowout again, and it was a blowout again, and we will touch on that some more later on here, man. So another one of the early slate games, man, was the Michigan and Penn State. Stat guy, was it that Penn State is just not good, or is it not good, but not as good as we thought they were, or is it Michigan just that team?
No, Michigan's not that team. It's levels to it, right? Like there's levels to it. I mean, you got good teams, great teams, and then teams that realistically can win a national championship. And I mean, looking at it, Michigan's just a great football team, and Penn State's a good football team. I felt like Penn State did a lot of stuff to hurt themselves today and kind of put themselves behind the 8 ball as well. So, I mean, the thing for me that was crazy is you look at 32 plays in the second half for Michigan, and they were all runs, right, including the 2 knees at the end of the game. They threw 1 pass in the second half. There was a pass interference, so it's not an attempted pass. Like, how as a defense do you let somebody – like, that's video game stuff. Like, I'm going to line up, run it down your throat, and you're not going to stop it, and I'm just going to keep doing it. That's what it felt like playing your little brother on NCAA football on the video game. And it's just like, at some point you got to make an adjustment and
Yeah.
put 10 guys in the box and be like, bro, throw it over my head and just get an 80-yard touchdown that way. I'm not going to give up this.
Big facts. And actually, the commentator pointed out that midway through the second quarter, they stopped throwing the ball. They stopped. What's his name? McCarthy. JJ McCarthy only had 8 pass attempts today, dog. Like I know that's not his fault. I know that's not his fault, but that definitely statistically hurts him in the Heisman race or so. But like you said, Penn State, man, you got be better, bro. Like y'all got a defense, and you let a team, hang on to the lead. Listen. I mean, I'm a Dog fan, dog, and Kirby will salt the game away with some running. But, bruh, midway through the second, all the way to the end of the game, no passes. You gotta be better, Seawalt. What you thinking, man?
Yeah, I agree. Everybody's beating Cade Klubnik up. Drew Aller has not been much better than Cade has in his career. I mean, Aller looked terrible today, and you can credit Michigan's defense, but Aller just wasn't making the throws, man. And, as far as running the football, Michigan had almost 500 yards rushing last year against them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why not keep it on the ground this year too? If it worked last year, it's the same 2 guys.
Well, the thing they pointed out, man, with the 3 games that Harbaugh was suspended at the beginning of the year and today, their defense performs the same when he's not there, but their offense scores like 14 points less. But in each case, I mean, I know those first 3 games at the beginning wasn't against anybody, but tonight was against Penn State. So it begs the question, what do you do with James Franklin? I get it that a lot of these pieces for Penn State are sophomores and juniors, so they're all they're coming back. But it seems like we're just lining up to do the same thing we did this year, saying, "Oh man, this is the year Penn State got it, yada yada yada," but they can't get it done. What we doing? Is it a hot seat or is it time to let them go?
I lean more towards let him go, but I mean, then you ask yourself the question: who do you go get? Like, you don't want a Philip Fulmer situation up in Penn State now, where you go and get the wrong guy and you go from winning 10 games to winning 7 games. And I mean, maybe that's what they're thinking. I definitely think hot seat. You're bringing Washington and Oregon into the Big Ten. And USC. I mean, UCLA, whatever. But you're bringing some more power players. It's not a 3-horse race anymore, right? I mean, I felt going into this year they needed to make something happen this year. They lost to the 2 teams they were supposed to beat. He's 1-12 in his tenure at Penn State against top 5 teams, which of course is always Ohio State and Michigan. It's like, if that's who you are, that's fine. But you can't be the guy for the job if your expectation is a conference championship or national championship, because those 2 guys are always ahead of you. But again, I don't know who I don't know who's sitting out there that they're like, we can go and get this guy and it'll fix our problems.
Well, this is the thing. Kirby wasn't Kirby until he was Kirby. Urban Meyer wasn't Urban Meyer until he was Urban Meyer. Like at some point, you can't. If you're Penn State, we're not talking about Northwestern or Maryland, bro. No disrespect to those programs. We talking about Penn State, dog. They expect to compete for Big Ten championships and be in the talks for a national championship at least, even though they haven't won one in a while. Mara says James should get one more year. Hey. If he gets one more year and he does the same thing, which I could see happening unless, Harbaugh leaves, which he may do, what I'm saying? I don't know. But he's got to win at least a Big Ten championship. That's what I say. I don't care who's coming in. You're Penn State. Figure it out. They're the newbies in the conference, whether it's Oregon, Washington, USC, or UCLA. Figure it out, man. Figure out how to get that done. Nathan, good question, man. I'm definitely going to get to that question here in a minute. Seawalt, James Franklin, what we doing with him, dog? Is has he done enough? Because listen, he's 3-17 against top 10 teams. 3-17. He's been there about 10 years. What we doing with James Franklin?
Well, he's definitely not done enough. But like Stat said, is there really somebody out there to come replace him right now? If you look at the landscape of college football coaches, I don't know that you're getting an upgrade by getting rid of Franklin. And like you said, you never know till you know with another coach, right? But a guy like Kirby had a pretty long track record of being an outstanding defensive coordinator in Alabama.
Well, I mean,
so
I get what you're saying, but Dan Lanning hadn't been a coordinator for a long time. Dabo was never a
true.
coordinator.
Yeah,
Dabo was never a coordinator.
yeah.
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying. I'm just saying. There's a lot of examples out there. That's all I'm saying.
I think that Penn State, they try to hang on to coaches and try to hang on to them.
Yeah.
If it were me, I would move on from them. I just don't know who you get to replace them.
And so, personal opinion, I would love for them to move on for him because you already know I want Manny Diaz in Columbia next year as our DC. So go ahead and pull the plug on the whole staff.
That's right, man. Shout out to Tristan, man, for getting in. That's right, man. We will see y'all in Atlanta, man. But the Dogs got to handle business next week. We still got other goals, man. One game at a time. But shout out to the Tide. We're just about to jump into that game here in a minute. My guy Steve B is in. Say whip that West Virginia butt. No, that's right, man. And we're gonna talk about that a little bit as well, man. All right, man. Yeah. So let's talk about that Alabama-Kentucky game, man. Listen. The game was at Kentucky. Kentucky started the year off. Everybody said how physical they were or whatever. Alabama jumped on them quick. Jalen Milroe did get hit pretty hard early in the game, but he, in the next couple of series, he was kind of like, I ain't gonna say he was limping or anything, but he was slow. But he ended the day with 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns. Not even Tua or Jalen did that. Seawall, I mean, Kentucky just got better. Yeah. So what you think about Alabama? What you think about Alabama and their chances, man? Not only for the SEC championship, but possibly a CFP berth.
I mean, it's all in front of them. After watching this Georgia game, it's hard to say anybody's going to beat them again this year. But Milroe's getting better every week. If you look at where he was start of the year compared to now, it's night and day. So I think Alabama is peaking at the right time. I think they're finding something on offense with their receivers that they didn't find earlier in the year. So it's going to be interesting to the SEC championship game. I still think Georgia has the edge, but it's probably going to be a better game than we would have thought it would have been 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Hey, I can get with that. Okay. Stat guy, what you think about that Alabama-Kentucky game, man? Stoops is just an 8-win guy, and he can't ever think he can ever upset an Alabama or something like that.
Upset in Alabama, maybe, but not this Alabama. I think caught him at the wrong time. I would have loved to have seen this game week 3, week 4. I feel like Kentucky's on the ropes right now. Alabama's found themselves. It was just a horrible matchup for them. They're 2 programs going in different directions as far as the season playing out. And kind of similar, right? Physical teams, they want to run the ball. And I'll be honest, that's, I think, the biggest thing for me with Alabama is they've now gone run heavy and are using the pass off of it and not relying on the passes, their offense, and letting Milroe be a true runner. And it's opened up all sorts of things for them. But they just got outmanned tonight. I mean, you hate seeing a team get beat like that. I mean, we've all been on the other side of it. Obviously, you haven't in a long time. But I just hate when your team just gets kicked in the mouth like that on both sides of the ball. It's tough to watch a full game of.
Listen, man, it's like we talked about at the beginning of the season. We knew that the offense was going to look different with Jalen Milroe because he's not the straight up pocket passer or just has the arm that that the Bryce Youngs and the Tua had. But it seemed it took a little bit for Tommy Rees and Jalen Milroe to kind of find their footing, but it looks like they have. And I'm telling you, it's just the new age triple option, baby. You got you know what I'm saying? You got the pistol formation, you're sending people in motion. It's hard to defend because now he's even having a little touch on those 15, the 20-yard when he acts like he's gonna scramble and you come up, he can just dump it over you. I think he did one apprentice today like that. And I'm like, the dude is he's playing some good ball, and a running quarterback always changes how you play defense. So I think they're peaking at the right time. They got the West sewed up. The Dogs got the East sewed up. So I think we're in for a classic game in Atlanta for the SEC championship. As far as Kentucky is concerned, man, I mean Kentucky is pretty much what we they're Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? I like Stoops as a coach, but it's like he can win the games he's supposed to win, but those games like Tennessee can't beat Tennessee. He's not going to beat the Dogs, the Bamas, but he can upset maybe, he got handled by Missouri too. Like, I think one of the biggest problems is Devin Leary hasn't played like NC State Devin Leary.
Yep.
No, he's looked bad this year.
Right. See what, like, I mean, you got to see him up close, playing the Tigers, for a couple of years.
New system.
This dude
New system, he's just not there.
Yeah, he hasn't looked good. I mean, he hasn't looked good at all. And now to his defense, I would say at the beginning of the season, his receivers was dropping a lot of passes. I mean, if you watch the game in Athens, like, those dudes was dropping them, but now he just, like, he overthrows ball, underthrows, he can't anticipate. It's just crazy.
He don't use his legs near as much as he did at NC State also.
So I think they I don't know. I'm assuming he doesn't have another year. Does he have another year?
I don't believe so.
I thought this was his. I thought he was transferring to use his COVID year.
Okay. So let's get some updates on the scores. Stat guy, what game are you watching? I'm
watching North Carolina Duke. It's 26-21 in the fourth quarter. North Carolina.
How much time left?
Like 7 minutes.
All right. We got USC Oregon just now tipping off. USC has the ball. It's still 0-0 first quarter. TCU is trying to make this a game over Texas. It's 29-19, 4 minutes. I think Texas pretty much got this one, but TCU does have the ball. So if they score here, listen, I want to talk about let's jump back and then we'll move on to the 3:30 slot. The Michigan Penn State game. I'm watching that game. Penn State's down 16. No, they're down 15. I'm sorry. They're down 15. You score a touchdown and then you go for 2. You shouldn't go for 2 right there. You should kick a field goal, make it an 8-point game, and save that. You know what I'm saying? That 2-point conversion if you get a stop. When you miss the 2-point conversion right there, now your defense knows, we're going to have to get a stop twice in the last 3 minutes. Stat, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get that he was trying to get 2, but I don't think you get 2 on that first touchdown. You wait till the second touchdown.
Right. And I think by going for 2 there, the risk isn't worth the reward, right? You play the numbers game. Like, yeah, at least if you don't get it the second time, at least maybe now there's more pressure on the defense. Like, man, if we give this up, it's a tied football game. Like different things. I hate the numbers game. I don't think that's the mathematically right decision to go for 2 there, especially when you can't stop them anyway. Like, I mean, they're running the ball down your throat. You're probably not going to get the stop. So horrible call.
Yeah. Welcome into the show, my guy, Shawty. What's going on? His damn opinion. That's right, man. What's going on, Shawty?
Gentlemen, how's it going? Can you hear me, Coach?
A little bit. Turn it up just a little bit.
I just got a new mic.
There we go.
Test.
Yeah. We can hear you now, man. Mike Wilkinson say Shawty in the house. Mars Jam said, "What's up, Shawty?" Hey, man. We just talking about we wrapping up that first slate of games, man. That Michigan Penn State game. I put it in our group, me and our group chat. I just think they down 15 at the end. You can't go for 2 right there. You know what I'm saying? You score that first touchdown, you kick the field goal. Now you're down 8, and your defense mentally knows they got something to play for, right?
I don't understand, man. It's whole analytics thing. Numbers, I get the numbers. Man, sometimes you gotta play. Like, I don't know why coach started chasing points, going for 2, and I don't want to jump the gun, but the same thing happened in the Kansas State game. Down 10-0, as opposed to you kicking 3 points to go 10-3. You go for it on 4th down. At the end of the day, well, not the end of the day, but the last 2 minutes of the game, you chasing 3 points to tie it up.
I don't get it. I'm watching a lot of these coaches go for it on 4th down, inside the 5, or inside the 10, and like you say, going for 2 when they don't need to go for 2. It's like you said, at some point, man, the analytics are supposed to help you make an informed decision. You're not supposed to just, the analytics say we're supposed to go for it, then I guess we go for it. Like,
it's like AI is coaching, meaning AI is an artificial intelligence. That's what's coaching the game.
Exactly. It's like, man, at some point you got to have a feel for the game. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a feel for the game. And you say, you know what? The analytics say we should go for it on 4th down, but I've been stopping this team all day. Let me go ahead and get me some points.
Make a real football decision, not a numbers decision.
And you know what? I can't see. I think it's C. Whip. My clips.
Seawalk.
What's up, Seawalk? To hit point, I would say this to prove that point. That's just like Michigan and Penn State. You run the ball 32, 35 times straight. Damn the analytics.
That's right.
Everybody studying know what's coming. Stop.
But you know what? That's what good. I personally, as a coach, a former coach, that's what I did. Like people like I had a parent yell at me in a basketball game one time and say, "Coach, play basketball." I say, when they stop us, I will. But if you can't stop me, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing all day. The point is to win, and I'm winning. So
and
it's
I'm
like
showing you less, coach. Ain't
exactly.
give you no fan, nothing to make no adjustment until you.
Bruh, Michigan quarterback threw the ball 8 times all day. That's crazy, bruh. Hey man, I do want to take a shot, take a time, man, to shout out all veterans, man. Hey, we appreciate your service, man. We don't want to let the day go by without shouting out our veterans, man. We got some veterans in the comments, man. My guy Mike Wilkinson, for sure, man. We appreciate your service, man. Jason over at the Hall of Fame College Football, my wife. I mean, we got dogs all around, man, that serve time. That's right, Priest Perry, man. A lot of the dogs that follow the show, man. Shout out to my guy Anthony Tillman, man. My guy Pete Maybe, man. Paul Mayberry. Listen, man. That's a big task, man, and I appreciate y'all guys for going out there and do it, because that's not something that I want to do. And without guys like y'all, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't have the freedoms that's what I'm saying, that we wouldn't enjoy the freedoms today. Also, shout out, he over in the Republic of Georgia, so they are like 9 hours ahead of us. So he may or may not be watching. My guy Scott Green from Twitter, man, he is a dog, and he is over there, with the military. So shout out to all the veterans today, man. But yeah, man, good slate of games today. Listen, I had a lot going on this morning, but I made sure to keep that phone or that TV on, man, and it was a good slate of games today, man. We're gonna move to that 3:30 slot.
Oh man, we ain't talking South Carolina Vandy. You wild.
Hey, it wasn't. Listen, it wasn't on the TV today. You right. South Carolina with the big win over Vandy. I want to say it was like 47-6 or something like that. What was the final score stat?
Yeah, 47-6. Got the true freshman quarterback, your future 2026 Heisman Trophy winner, Lenore Sellers, with the 33-yard touchdown run in the fourth to ice the game. But the play of the game, though, was the running back transfer from Newberry, Super Mario Anderson, with the spin out of a tackle, taking it like 60 yards to the crib.
Hey, man, shout out to the Gamecocks for not giving up on the season, because that could be easy to do when you're like, you know what I'm saying, when you only got like where you had like 3 wins coming in. Now you got 4 wins. You're setting yourself up to be in a position, if you can beat Kentucky next week, and then that's a matchup at the Turkey Bowl in Carolina, you know what I'm saying, Clemson, South Carolina, and people are fighting. Listen, people are fighting for bowl berths around here, you know what I'm saying? So I think Clemson became bowl eligible today, right? See what?
Yeah, we checked that off. We're good to go now, man.
They look at but South Carolina
how
can
motivated
finish.
are they though?
Hey, are you talking about Clemson? How motivated Clemson?
Are you guys play in any bowl other than big 2 years 6 bowl?
I think the team and I'm gonna throw the program. I think the way Dabo runs his program, man, I think he keeps guys motivated to play. Of course, this season is not what they wanted at all. But I think if they weren't motivated, they probably would have lost to Notre Dame. So
okay,
I think that they're playing for something right now, even if it's just themselves. But I think they're pretty motivated right now.
Just a quick score update. TCU is down 26-29. Texas has the ball first and 10. Minute and 30 left, and TCU only got 1 timeout. I think it might be over for TCU unless Texas turns the ball over, man. All right, Eric Benfield is getting in. Say, go Dogs. That's right, man. Say the Dogs need their respect. Hey, Eric, we're going to let them keep disrespecting us, dog. We feed off of it. We eating off the floor around here, man. We're going to definitely get to the Dogs as well, man. Stat. What's the give me a scale of 1 to 10, man? Your confidence on beating Kentucky next week.
I'll be honest, it's probably like an 8 or a 9 right now. I feel like Kentucky's going backwards. I feel like South Carolina's figured some things out offensively. As long as we can stop the run, defense played the best it played all year today. You can only play against who's lined up in front of you, and they showed up to play today. So looking forward to that Kentucky game. We get them under the lights, which is always a scary place to come into Willie B under the lights. So very confident in being able to check that one off, and hopefully that'll be enough to get a night game against Clemson to end the year.
So y'all play at nighttime next week?
Yeah, 7:30 SEC Network.
Okay, well, Ray Davis is the SEC second leading rusher, so we'll see. Alabama was definitely able to corral him. So
you gotta love Gamecock fans, man. You gotta love them. Look, my brother is just like Stat, man.
That's right. For those that don't know, man.
10 games.
Hey, that's right. For those that don't know, Seawald's Clemson fan. His brother is a South Carolina fan. Interesting Thanksgivings is all I can tell you. Shawty, your thoughts on South Carolina taking on Kentucky next week?
I'm not gonna check out. Just in all fairness, I'll take a shot. I'm not. In all fairness, real talk. I think Kentucky probably. I think they're probably.
You kind of going in and out, Shawty.
Oh, I think they're gonna probably be a little bit more physical than South Carolina. I do think they are the better team. But I do like South Carolina from a quarterback play standpoint. I think South Carolina has a better quarterback play.
Agree.
And they have a shot. I just think overall Kentucky has a better roster.
I think I agree that Kentucky definitely has a better team. One thing I will say to Stat's point, South Carolina does play pretty good at night at home. So I think that's a benefit that they didn't get the game at 3:30 or especially at 12 o'clock. But it's gonna be hard because me and Stat talk about all the time. South Carolina rarely stops the run, and Ray Davis is a load. I mean, he's a load for anybody to handle. You got to load the box up, and hopefully, Spencer can be on like he's been on. You know what I mean? If Spencerburg can be on like he's been on, then listen. Again,
they're not losing games because of Spencer. I'm gonna tell you that.
True.
Yeah.
They ain't lost. They haven't lost not one game because of Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler has been balling out of control. You know what I'm saying? That defense is the thing. You know what I'm saying? And Stat knows that Stat wants the DC. Going up out of there. So listen, we try to figure out a way to get Manny Diaz out of Penn State down to Columbia. Oh my God, D'Angelo, what's going on, man? You say go Dogs. That's right, man. Dogs with the big win, man.
Hey, coach, you gotta have a head coach there to hire new staff.
Oh, hey, man, we ain't coming for Beamer's head after a win. You should have called me 2 weeks ago after a loss. We ain't doing that after a win. Beamer balls to the moon, baby.
Hey, Steve B, and I'm watching Texas won. They pull out a close one against TCU, man. Hey, that's all you gotta do. Survive in advance. I think they got 2 more games. The Big 12 is starting to be interesting. Let's get to Nathan's question, man. And Nathan asked what I thought about the Big 12, how it looks next year. Next year, you got Colorado and Utah coming in. We still don't know the status of what Washington State and Oregon State doing. Maybe they move to the Big 12, but we'll go with the teams that's going next year. I think right now the favorite automatically is Utah. In my mind, the favorite is Utah right now. You know what I'm saying? With maybe Kansas State being a close second, and then Colorado. Well, right now Kansas State. Listen, they won last year. They're still in it to get to the Big 12 championship this year. So the thing is, Kansas State plays more physical than a lot of those teams, which keeps them ahead of the curve. That's the only reason why I think Kansas State is up there. I think Deion is going to get some better recruits, and Shadur and Travis Hunter has to come back. If Shadur comes back, I think they right there in the thick of things.
They both come.
Well, Travis has to come back. He's a true sophomore. Shadur, it technically could go to the league, but I think he may come back. Seawalt, your thoughts on the Big 12 in 2024?
By the way, UCF beat Oklahoma State today. They might be a player down the road because they waxed Oklahoma State.
Man, they 2-5.
Bad.
They 2-5. That was the Gus Malzahn effect. He's gonna get him one year.
No, that was
No,
the
but-
that was the Oklahoma State got up to beat Oklahoma in the last bedlam. A lot of like energy running over, and they let it run over to the next game. Had they played UCF before they played Oklahoma, they probably would have waxed.
True,
UCF,
true.
to be
But
honest with you.
seriously, I think,
yeah.
but seriously, I think that Utah, Colorado are the two teams next year to watch for the Big 12. I'll say Colorado. As much as I don't like the way stuff's run there, I'll give them their props. They're going to be better. Dion's going to recruit great, and he's going to continue to bring in good players. He's Dion.
Yeah.
What DB does not want to come play for Dion? Let's be real. So they're going to get better.
The DBs aren't the problem. If he don't go find offensive linemen and defensive linemen,
yeah.
I mean, he's got to shore up the trenches. That's where they're getting whooped at week in and week out. And
No doubt. But this is year one.
Was all get out.
Yeah.
I'm with you,
I can
Coach.
guarantee you.
Give me Utah. Give me Kansas State.
Okay. Go ahead, see what.
I was just saying, I can guarantee you Dion will have a much better O-line next year because those guys, out of those starting five, you might have one come back. That's the way it looks to me right now. And I believe he's going to hit the portal for the best guys out there, and guys are going to want to come play for him.
That's true. I think Prime is going to definitely address that offensive line and the defense. I'll be honest with you. If I'm Prime, I'm letting go Kelly, the DC Kelly. I didn't like him coming in, to be honest with you. He's one of the biggest problems. I think Sean Lewis. I think the demotion of Sean Lewis though was a bad move, and I think Sean Lewis is going to be looking for jobs elsewhere. And y'all asked earlier, who could you bring in to Penn State? Sean Lewis did a hell of a job at Kent State. Give him the tools that James Franklin got. Bet he do better than James Franklin. That's what I'm saying. You can't hold on to coaches. Me and Shawty talk about it. Like Shawty always say, Kirby wasn't Kirby till he was Kirby. You know what I'm saying? Like these coaches wasn't these coaches until they got a shot. Dan Lanning is showing that. I mean, Sonny Dykes, he had some years of experience, but he went to TCU first year and went to a natty. I don't care how he got there. He got there. You know what I'm saying? Dabo had no position. Like he wasn't even no coordinator, dog. It took him like 3 years to win the ACC. You know, so I'm like, you got to go out there and do it, man. So I think Dion is gonna hopefully his OC replacement, because I think Sean Lewis is out there is good. But that was to me, all the moves he's made, they're good moves or whatever. But I thought that was a bad move on his part, as far as because I don't think Sean Lewis is happy about that, and that dude is a good coach. So Big 12 next year, Nathan. Looking like, in our opinions, I think collective opinions, you're looking at Utah as the favorite, and then depending on Colorado or Kansas State in that second and third spot. What's up, Charlie?
I want to kind of just touch on that Colorado before we.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah,
okay,
for sure.
So, thing with Colorado, man, I'm gonna say this because at the end of the day, we give a lot of coaches credit, talk bad about coaches. As much as credit we gave Dion, we have to be honest with being on the other side of the coin. Dion should be 2-3 games better than him. It comes down to this bad coach. When I say coach, I'm not blaming on anybody. I'm not blaming on the head. The OC or DC. I'm blaming on the head coach because that's ultimately where it goes.
Yeah, he made the hires.
Right, there you go. Thing that I don't understand about your offense is not the problem. You demote your OC. Now he has some deficiency. He won't and will not run the ball. But you as a head coach, just like we talk about OU, you have to go to your OC and demand him to run the ball a certain percentage of the time, whatever it may be. Because when you go play Oklahoma, when you go play Colorado, I've said this before. It's like going to play 7-on-7. Defensive end, just go get the ball. Don't even worry about the run. They ain't. They
That's
not
big
defensive.
facts. Big
So
facts, man.
as
Big
a
facts.
head coach, Deion Sanders has to make adjustments. That's one thing I have to get. I can't. I don't see the on-field adjustments. You know, I don't know how good or bad your staff is. Well, just before play is shown. You
Yeah.
gotta do some things on defense. You like I don't know how or what you gotta do. You got to play better defense. Both of your running backs combined coming into the game at 100 carries.
He said 121 carries. You was kind of going in and out.
Combined 121. They had 61 apiece.
God,
And we're in week 10.
that's rough right there. That's rough. That's 12 carries a game in a run game, dog, and that's not
Your quarterback
championship.
sore every week. He in the hot tub, I mean the cold tub after every game.
That guy, man, Colorado, man. Again, I think Sean Lewis is out of there. How does Deion fix the defense? Because like Shawty said, I mean, as bad as the offensive line has played, and maybe that's why Sean Lewis called a lot of run plays at Kent State. He had a better offensive line. And maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's the reason he's not calling, run plays. But the defense, at the end of the day, you score 40 points, you should win. You score 38, you should win. You know what I'm saying? What we doing about that defense in Boulder?
I mean, it starts up front. It starts they got to fix the front seven. I like their secondary. I mean, they got playmakers all around in the secondary, and Deion will always have a secondary. But if they don't get some linebackers and if they don't get some hog mollies to fill up the holes on the front and get disruption, it don't really matter. You can only block or you can only stay in coverage for so long in the secondary. If you don't get any pressure and they got all day, eventually you're going to pick somebody out.
Big facts. I'm agreeing all that. C-Walk, what you think?
Yeah, I think their linebacker play's been really poor this year. They got Vontae Bentley transferred from Clemson, and when he's out in coverage, it's not going to work out for you in defending the pass because he's a run stopper. And when I see number 20 running around out there for Colorado trying to look lost in pass coverage, they're getting killed across the middle this year, and it's just looking rough.
See, guy. Coach, let me ask you this. The way this do as the defense, we already giving up 33 points a game. I'm gonna tell you what. As a defensive coordinator, I'm gonna run 5 defense, and I don't give a damn how bad you beat us, but we gonna play those defenses very well. And we're gonna be where we supposed to be. Why can't them as coaches dumb it down? Just play cover 2, play cover 3, and just be where you need to be and build out some zone blitzes offense.
Exactly. Hey, be like a basketball version of Jim Boeheim. Just play zone if you got to. Or like you say, play cover 2, play cover 3, play quarters. Like, but whatever you play. That's it. Exactly. Do the small things great. That's how you actually become a great team. It's a lot. Listen, not for nothing, man. These offenses, and I'll give a shout out to Josh Heupel in his first couple of years, man. Josh Heupel's offense looks like it looks because he ain't got a lot of plays. Them wide receivers got options on the end, and he run the ball. He ain't tried like Mike Leach, rest in peace. Mike Leach didn't carry no whole big old, sheet of paper and nothing. Mike Leach had about 10 plays, dog. He like, hey, man, we're going to run these 10 plays and we're going to run it so good that you got to figure it out. And that's just what it is. And, man, Prime has done a, overall good job, but I'm with you, Shawty. If we're going to, be on his side, for all the good things he did, we got to call him out for some of that stuff like that, man. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have the confidence that he is gonna make those changes. He's gonna get some offensive alignment again. That's the only problem I could possibly see on the offense. I don't know how good the running backs are. I really don't because they ain't got nobody to watch for. You know what I'm saying?
But they won't hand it off, coach. They won't hand it off.
Every time I see these guys run the ball, they look good to me. I mean, I'm just
that's
a guy,
what I say.
but every time they look good.
To see what point, matter of fact, both guys coming into this game had 61 carries. They both averaged over 4.3 or 4.5.
Hey, I will say
it's hard
today,
to turn that down.
It's hard to turn that down. And one of the guys got a touchdown today. I forgot. I think it was Wilkerson might have got a touchdown today. It was like a 1-yard touchdown, but nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, Colorado's got to figure that out, man. But on to the 3:30 slot, man. We had one of the old school rivals that me and Shawty and CY and Stat grew up on, man. FSU, Miami, man. Miami made it the game, bro. Miami made it the game, but FSU did what they had to do, survive in advance. Shawty, I'm gonna let you start because me and you kind of feel the same about their quarterback, man. Jordan Travis, man. Like, did you like the one play that I remember that sticks out? It was like 2nd and 10. This dude ran back like 20 yards, dog. And then I'm gonna say it right now. We ain't blaming nothing on the refs. We not blaming nothing on the refs. What I will say is that was a safety, dog. The ball was in the end zone. So what you thought about that game, Sean?
Okay, man. You know, I'm gonna say this, man. It's crazy because I just left. So, you know, he made a good point. You know, I get it. For rivalry. You know, things run a little bit higher, you know. Game tend to be a little bit closer. But I will continue to say this. Jordan Travis. That's the name, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He has played too much football. Has too many games under his belt to continue to do the things that he do. In my opinion, that's going to cost him when it matters.
I think I'm agreeing with you, and I think he, like I say, I've always been a proponent. This year in 2023, he tries for the big play way too much. Like he's trying to get it all right now. Keon Coleman is balling out of control. I mean, this dude is unconscionable. Punt returns, you know, whatever it is, it's like. But with Jordan Travis, that goes to what you just said, Shawty. Like you play way too much football, bro, to run back 20 yards. Now that's high school football, dog. Like in no situation should you have done that. If that's the case, if you can't, you know, curl out and round, you can't go back 5 yards and kind of round it out and get out in the flats. Just take the sack, dog. Just take the sack.
Do that shit one time at the next level.
Yeah, and this is what we get into what Steve B just brought up. He said Louisville will beat Florida State. I was Seawalk, man. You know, you're right there in the ACC, man. You get to see y'all didn't play Louisville this year, but you know, we all keeping an eye on it. What you think about this game? If Louisville wins next week, then they good and they're gonna play Florida State in Charlotte.
I think Louisville can beat them. Kind of the Shawty's point, man. Jordan Travis has, like you said, has played way too much football to make some of the decisions he makes. He tries to do way too much on the field. Florida State's got 2 running backs, Benson and Toafili, that they just need to turn around and hand the ball to. Them dudes are ridiculous. Just hand the ball to them. Let Jordan Travis run play action and hit those guys. You start building the run, and that passing game is even more open than it is now. But to get back to Louisville, Florida State, if that game comes, which seems like it probably is, I do not think Florida State will win that game. I really don't. I think Jawar Jordan is the difference maker in all of that. Yeah. Running the football. And Plummer, not a lot of people talk about Plummer, the quarterback at Louisville. He's a pretty steady-handed guy at the position, man. He's a pretty decent field general back there running the show. So, I mean, of course Florida State could win, but I really think Louisville can win that game too. Florida State's They've missed a few L's on their schedule so far this year by the way that Travis plays in some of these games.
Yeah, like
Clemson
I say, man,
and Miami.
Like I say, man, they survive and advance is what you got to do. At the end of the day, every you know, all teams look bad, but it's just the things that we see that this guy's played a lot of football. He got superb weapons at every level. Jaheim Bell, Keon Coleman, number 14, I forget what his name. He like 6'6", you know, can't nobody really stop. You got
Johnny Wilson.
Johnny Wilson, that's right. And then you got the running backs in the backfield, Toafili and the other guy, man, Benson. It's like, bruh, you making it. It's almost like he's trying to make it a game, and it doesn't have to be a game.
Yeah, the weapons around him are way too good to be putting themselves in the position they're in at the end of these games sometimes.
Yeah, stat man. You watched the Florida State, Miami, man, and yes, and Miami had a chance to win that at the end. The quarterback got hurt. Tyler Van Dyke wasn't supposed to play. He had to end up coming in that last drive and end up throwing the pick, man. But Florida State, I just feel like it's way too talented. I get it's a rivalry game, but they was on the way to blowing Miami out, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, you look, they're up 14. It's 1st and 15. Then they give up the home run, and now it's a game again. But my thing to the Jordan Travis point is it feels like he has to have a touchdown every play. Like everything has to be a home run. He's not going to dump it down into the flats. He's not going to take what the defense gives him. He wants one of his big time targets and he won't sit him deep. And it's just like, dog, like take the easy stuff. But I'll be honest, if they played Louisville this year, if that game was at Louisville, I'd probably take Louisville. They're not losing that game in Charlotte. They're winning the ACC this year.
Sorry to jump in
y'all
here.
like Louisville over Florida State?
No,
I like Louisville like stat. I like Louisville if they was in Louisville because Louisville don't lose at home. In Charlotte, I think it's a different animal. Go ahead, Seawalk.
I was just gonna say to Stat's point, man, when about Jordan Travis trying to hit the home run every time. After the Clemson game, this dude takes everything personal. After the Clemson game, he got on the cameras or whatever and basically said that he was disrespected, that Clemson played his receivers man, and that he did everything he could to show that he could make the throws against man coverage. And I'm like, dude, in reality, Clemson's DBs shut your guys down for the most part, like, until the last play of the game. But I mean, it's like, dude, stop taking it personal and just go out and play, man. Put good drives together. Stop trying to hit the home run to try to show people you can do it.
Bro, that's not, listen, to me, just my opinion, that's not championship mentality. When you like,
No.
they're gonna play my guys man to man, so I'm definitely gonna throw it. Well, if they playing man to man, Charlie, what else is open? What you always tell me open if they playing man to man and you got your back turned. Quarterback. Run the ball.
Yeah.
Run the ball, dog. Like, just get the first down. 10 first downs equals 100 yards, dog.
You got a whole bunch of space when them DBs turn around and start running.
Did you guys see what happened to Ole Miss today when they didn't count for our quarterback who normally is throwing?
That's what I'm saying.
Athletically enough.
I mean, the one in the fourth quarter, as soon as the linebacker turned to chase the guy, I think it was Brock. Brock was going across the middle. Linebacker turns his back to run it down, and as soon as he turned his back, Carson Beck was out of there. He's like, "Thank you."
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, man, Florida State's still undefeated. Somebody's got to beat them before, until they're not. They got more Power 5 wins than any other team, currently in college football. So they're doing that. They don't have a signature win in my book because LSU they looking shaky. That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe it was hyped up at the beginning of the season. They do have a good offense, but LSU ain't been able to stop nobody all year. That's pretty much their best win. But hey, the Seminoles come away with the victory. They beat Miami. I know that feels good as a Seminole, even though they still got Florida. Last year, Florida played them, really tough. And then next week, I don't know who they have next week, but they got the win. That's all it is. So
one more point on the Jordan Travis thing. The crazy, and we talk all the time, like if you keep doing the same thing that's not working, it's just dumb at this point. It's not like, oh, eventually it's going to work. No, it hasn't. We're too late in the year. It hasn't worked. They love that deep ball up the sideline, but he can't keep the ball in bounds. It's not like his receivers, like against Clemson. Clemson was forcing the receivers out as they were catching it, but the ball was so far out of bounds anyway, they were never going to get a foot in. And it doesn't matter how good your receivers are on the outside. If you don't give them space to come down with it, it doesn't matter if they're double coverage, single coverage, whatever. I mean, he just doesn't have the deep ball up the sideline. He can't leave it in bounds.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, again, shout out to the Seminoles for getting the dub. They're still undefeated, still at top of the ACC, still in position to, get to Charlotte and have a chance to play for the ACC title and get to the college football playoff, man. Moving out west, Washington versus Utah. Listen, I keep saying this. I've been saying this, Stats known for a long time how I feel about Kyle Whittingham. When I tell you I feel like that dude can coach football, man, that dude can coach football. I'm gonna tell you, there's no reason why this game should have been close. Just to be honest with you, with Michael Penix and the weapons they got. I know they're missing McMillan, but the weapons they got, Utah just was out, more physical. They found ways to score. They found ways to score today, and Washington ended up pulling it out, man. But I think it showed more about Utah than it did about Washington today, Stat.
Yes. I mean, let's just go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. What was the kid doing on the pick six? Like, come on, dog. Like, it wasn't like he dropped it on the goal line. He dropped the ball at the 3. And then the 2 other guys ran right past the ball to go celebrate with the
Listen, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about, so the guy drops the ball as if and then continues to run past the goal line. So he almost has a pick six. He's dropping it, or he's starting the process of dropping it at the 3. It lands at like the 1.5. 2 Washington players ran right past the ball into the end zone to celebrate. The Utah lineman comes and jumps on. Yes, they did get a, it was a bad, that was a bad offensive play call to me, trying to get out of the end zone. But I'm just saying, listen, man, I'm mad at the guy for dropping the ball, but I'm more mad at the guys that ran right past the ball. It's like the rapper who makes a bad album. I'm mad at the guys in the studio who told him it was a good album. You shouldn't have released that song, and that guy shouldn't have dropped that ball. So, Seawalk, man, did you see that play, the pick six, or the would-be pick six?
I saw the replay of it, and I mean, golly, he was a yard before he ever got in the end zone. Like, that was, it wasn't even close. It wasn't like Ray McLeod 7 years ago at Clemson, where he was
like
on DeAndre
Baker. DeAndre Baker in Columbia
exactly.
and South Carolina, like you have to go to the replay to see it. You didn't even have to go to the replay, dog. Like Steve B, I'm with you, dog. I'm with you. Dropping the ball is stupid. Just carry it to the end zone.
You've got 10 yards more to carry that football. You know what I mean? Like, get in the middle of the end zone before you drop it. I don't get it. I'll never understand that.
Sorry.
I got 2 things. Couple things to say. First of all, watching that play, I don't know about I'm gonna be careful. That takes that.
Leon Lett.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the first time I've seen it happen. Also, I'm gonna be honest, just as a coach, I can't at that point, I can't play for a minute in terms of that game.
Yeah.
Just can't. I got to sit you just for a coaching reason and discipline. Football, no matter what's going on, it ain't about wins and losses. You got to come stand up. You got to come stand with me on the sideline for a few drives.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But what I will disagree with some of the things I think you said, Coach I is right. I really thought Washington did something that Utah should have. They out physical Utah in a lot of that game. And I was surprised.
Yeah.
I like not Washington, because I see Washington as a finesse team.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I see them, but they offensive line beat up on Utah.
They did.
They run and throw like they wanted. But nothing they like Utah. I mean, Washington running game was on.
But the thing is, I agree with that. I'm just talking about the overall picture. Like, and this is what I'll say about Utah again. I don't feel like Utah should be 7-3. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when Cam Rising went down, listen, man.
Snap all year.
That's what I'm saying. No, Cam Rising ain't took a snap all year. We've been watching. The second half of the season, Barnes has been the guy. But in the beginning, it was like the merry-go-round between him and the other quarterback that was a runner. But I'm just, like, Washington has a prolific offense. You know what I'm saying? Michael Penix Jr. didn't play as good as he should. Like, I think there were several guys, including Penix, that kind of
run game, Coach.
It was good. He didn't have to, but even when he did throw, he wasn't Heisman like he was my preseason Heisman. So I'm a little bit harder on him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, they offense didn't score at will like I thought they could, and I thought they should, because they only scored like, they did not like a It was 38. It was 35-28. You
38.
No, 35. 35. They put up 40 plus a game like easy. Like easy.
I get it, Coach.
Hey.
I'm saying,
Hey,
you playing
what-
a team like that and you score 35 on them?
But Utah's
they-
supposed to be the physical team, right?
Right,
I
that's what
mean,
I'm saying.
35 against Utah to me is nice personally.
Yeah, I get it. But if your offense can't move the ball, I don't care if you got the Steelers defense from back in the day. If they always got to keep going back out on the field, them dudes
Shout
gonna
out
get
Steel
tired.
Curtain.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm watching the game. I know what Washington is supposed to look like. Or at least I think I thought they was okay. I thought it was okay.
I think they ran. I think they just ran the ball so much better this game. Took so much pressure on the pass. You seen the high flying numbers. But the run game was so on. That's what I'm saying. Like they beat them up. It just looked not. It was still the same thing. 35%.
Yeah.
Look,
What? Okay, so Michael Penix was 24 for 42. That's not Michael Penix numbers, dog. That's barely 50%. That's terrible.
Well, it's funny. It's
That's
funny
terrible.
you're saying this though. It's funny
and I
you're
don't
saying
even
this
think he
though.
had to throw it 42. I don't even think he had to throw it 42. Like, I'm with
Here's
and
the
Dylan,
thing. We're,
Dylan Johnson had 100 yards. I mean, okay, he had 100 yards. That's not running all over Utah. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. That's me. That would be.
So for Penix, he was 24 for what 42, right?
Yes.
He had 332 and 2 touchdowns. That's not that bad. That's pretty good
yardage-
stat
the
line.
yard- Hey, you should get 332 if you throw the ball 42 times. Carson Beck didn't throw
I
it
understand
42
that.
times a
I
night.
understand that.
Listen, Carson Beck didn't throw it 42 times and he went over 300 yards. So if Penix is supposed to be the front runner in the Heisman like he should be,
But he
can't do
wasn't
50
playing Utah's defense either.
No, but the Ole Miss is number 7 in pressures. How about that?
I'm never gonna trust the Ole Miss defense. Come on.
Hey, let me hop in with a quick score update for you. North
What's up,
Carolina just kicked a field goal to send the game into overtime, 36-36 with Duke.
This is that typical North Carolina fall at the end of the year.
That's it. So we'll see if they can hold on. Okay, I'll give you that against Utah. So what was the excuse last week?
Hey, you just didn't play that great. Hey,
what was the excuse to you the week before that? Like, this is 3 weeks in a row, bro. His percentage has been terrible.
I can't. I'm not going to speak
They're
about
still getting
last
the
week in the
W's,
week
though.
about well, they ain't no doubt about it.
Well, I'm just saying, we
At the
was
end of
just
the day,
hard.
they
Hold on to that statement right there. Wait a minute. We gotta have the same energy that we had for Jordan Travis, who's still undefeated, still winning games. But y'all wanted to talk about Jordan Travis and how he's playing. He's putting up numbers. He's still winning games. But yet Michael Penix, no.
But
Miami
Travis
has-
makes a lot of stupid decisions, though.
In a win, it's not 300 yards in a loss. It's 300
I didn't say
yards.
that he put. Listen, I said that they didn't. They still didn't. Like, if you watch that game, dog, they still didn't look like the Washington offense that they supposed to be. And I'm saying, y'all got that same. Y'all got to have that same energy for Jordan Travis. He still see what I was like. Well, he still won the game. Well, Jordan Travis still won the game.
Well, of course, yeah. I'm not.
Well, that's
Jordan
what I'm
Travis.
saying. That's what I'm saying. You got to have that same energy. You like Penix didn't do nothing wrong. He threw 50%. That's not Heisman-like. I don't care who you playing.
But yeah, we've got the bar up here for Penix. Jordan Travis's bar is a little bit further down right now.
Okay, well, if the bar is down low, then you shouldn't be as hard on him when he doesn't play as good. When you're high, when you have a higher bar, you get more criticism. So you just nullified your own point.
I
get
think
that.
the running game is why he didn't have to play it. I'm just saying with more balance.
You said that he didn't have, I'm not talking about when he's not throwing it. He threw it 42 times. I don't care how much they ran it for. And mind you, their leading rusher only had 100 yards. So it's not like he ran for 200 like the Oklahoma State dude did on Oklahoma, like, or not Oklahoma, but the game before Oklahoma. Like, that's what I'm saying, dog. Like, we on here trashing Jordan Travis when the bar is lower. Penix has a higher bar.
We weren't trashing him. We were just calling out dumb decisions.
Stat.
Yo,
We wasn't trashing Jordan Travis just a minute ago.
no, I mean, we were throwing him under the bus and backing up over him.
Oh, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Oh, that's been a point. He play.
Wait, you said you play way too many football to be making these dumb decisions. That's trashing the dude, dog. Come on, man. Y'all, come on, dog. He threw for
I hadn't seen
Penix
Penix run back 20 yards, and
But
just
but
and you still
I'm
trashing
not
him. You
trashing
again.
I am now. I am now.
before the season. I never been a fan of trash. I'm just highlighting things that he don't do. I'm not trash. I think he's probably
Again, I'm not saying that those things are not valid. I'm saying that y'all are making excuses for somebody who has a higher expectation, but the dude that has a lower expectation, you jumping on him. You can't, like, dog, you got a lower expectation. We shouldn't expect you to do more. If you got a higher expectation, you expect those guys to do more.
Well, that expectation is
Washington offense had a 100-yard rush and 100-yard. I mean, that's pretty much what that's what you want. I mean, I don't. Granted, it's not Michael Penix like.
That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying. I didn't say they didn't play good. That's all I was saying.
I don't think nobody is knocking nobody. You know what I'm saying? We're not pitting nobody against nobody. I'm looking at the numbers. Of course, I think all right.
I guess you said they was able to do what they want. 100-yard rusher don't say you was able to do what they want, because Missouri wasn't able to do what they want on us, and that guy ran for 120 yards. I mean, that's not able to do what you want. That's all I'm saying. So I'm just saying, dog.
I just looked at that game like, yeah, Washington's got this explosive, high-powered offense, but they still scored 35 on a pretty daggum good defense. That's my point. Like they still exceeded expectations to me in the game based off of the defense they were playing.
All right, Stat, you got anything before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, whether you like it or not, Michael Penix is winning the Heisman this year. So,
well, I picked him to win the Heisman, so that just
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, but regardless of 24 for 42, regardless of any of that, I'm telling you right now, it's over. It don't matter how he plays these last.
I'm still on the Marvin Harrison Jr.
We'll
train.
We'll see. They said Marvin Harrison Jr. today was the best player in college football, so we'll see about that one. So, yeah,
I think Penix will win, but I still want to see a receiver win.
I picked Penix, but I just say this ain't just today. They needed a pick six to beat Arizona or Arizona State, whoever it was. The week before that, they didn't play good. So it's like this is not just a one-off. It's not, and I've been a proponent of Washington all year. So that's all I'm saying. So I guess my expectations are higher. That, like, I expected them to do what Oregon did to Utah in the same fashion, and they played at home. Oregon was on the road when they did that. So that's all I'm saying. So on to the Missouri and Tennessee game, man. Missouri put that beat down on the Volunteers, and actually before we even took a snap as the Dogs tonight clinched the East because Mizzou did that thing, man. Stat guy, I know you watched this Mizzou Tennessee game. I took Missouri and the 1.5 that they was giving Missouri. I thought that, coming in the game they had a better overall team. It was only 1.5. Yeah, they was getting 1.5 at the house, so basically they was still saying Tennessee was about 3 points better than them. I felt like Missouri is the better team. Stat.
Yeah, I was right there with you. I thought that 1.5 was nice. Missouri playing at home, and then man, that transfer from St. Louis, the Division II running back, did something that I think like only 5 or 6 other players in FBS history have done, with 200 yards rushing and 100 yards receiving. I think Steve Slanton, I think is his name, the running back from West Virginia, was the last one to do it, but. Man, what a game he had. And he's just a load, man. I mean, he is, like, in the fourth quarter, it was just like, yeah, the game's over. Y'all can't stop this guy.
Yeah, for real, man. The dude ran for over 200 yards and on a rush defense for Tennessee that actually, is tops, like not top in the SEC, but one of the best in the country to beat supposedly. So, Shawty, did you get a chance to see that game? It was in Missouri, man, and Missouri was hyped.
Yeah, I watched a lot of good game. I was impressed with Missouri. Missouri. Coach, you've been high on them probably for the past 2 or 3 years. Final year that they have actually pulled it out. And they're going to bring up second this year. I don't think no one in the beginning. You may have, not sure, I can't remember.
No, I did not this year. I did this year, dog. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, right. 'Cause I think they had been hiring them the past two years.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
happened to be the year that they did it. I think it came down to their quarterback play. They were
Right.
against more guys. They've always had guys. Skills.
Yeah.
But one thing I would say about Missouri, man, that I just don't know if they can be consistent. That's the thing that scares me with Missouri.
Yeah.
If they can be consistent. Like I told a lot of guys, when you get a new coach, second year, generally, especially if you have a good season, second year generally that biggest jump when you get a new coach.
Yeah.
About what you do year 3, 4, 5. Those are the make or break.
Mm-hmm.
Or you remember I said.
Yeah,
Y'all
you're
high
right.
on BB.
I'm not high. No, I didn't say that. Now, come on now.
No.
Yeah, I know you're talking
I'm
about.
just saying that second year is generally when you get that biggest jump.
Yep.
Year 3, 4, and 5 going to be what's really going to go on. That's what I'm looking at through here.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
might be sneaky good, Coach.
Well, I think so. This is I think Eli Drinkowitz is actually a pretty good coach. He's a little animated, on the sideline sometime for me, but hey, do what you do. This year their offense has been consistent, but you're right, their defense kind of like a roller coaster. And it's like when they came to Athens, they just like we ain't got nothing to lose. Let's just do it all. And then they carried that over until today. They just like they shut Tennessee all the way down. But you're right. Can you do that more than 2 weeks in a row? Can you do that, going down? And you're right. The last 2 years, 21 and 22, I picked them to come in second in the East, and they didn't. This year, I actually picked them to come in third in the East. I thought it was going to be Kentucky. I thought Missouri and Tennessee would battle to see who was going to be third. But listen, man, Missouri's got 2 losses. They lost to LSU. It was a close one, 49, 39 or something like that with a pick 6 at the end. But Missouri's doing it. And next week, I want to say they got Florida, who they have a 500 record against since coming into the league. So I expect them to handle business next week. And then they got Arkansas, who shout out to my guy, Razorback Zach, man. Hey, man, football-wise, he's doing bad, dog. Football-wise, he's doing bad. He's like, can basketball season? He hit me up, man. Shout out. He's like, can basketball season hurry up and get here, dog? So I think the Razorback Nation might be a little sour on old Pittman, man.
No, don't say that. No, not the nice guy. Not the nice guy.
And Shawty, you called it last year, dog. I just think Pittman's may be a little too nice overall. And I'm not saying that he doesn't get after these guys at practice, but his just overall demeanor, I don't know if he's got that in him. You know what I'm saying? See what?
Yeah, so my real quick thoughts on this Tennessee-Missouri game. I had Missouri winning this thing straight out. I thought Missouri was the better team. I felt like Missouri's offense was better than Tennessee's defense coming into the game. What I didn't see happening was Missouri's defense shutting down Tennessee's running game.
Bruh.
And they shut that running game down, and Joe Milton was the Joe Milton I've always thought he was. And I can't wait to go to work Monday because all these Tennessee fans going to be crying and calling for Nico to come play some football at the quarterback position.
That's right, man. And I think what Missouri did a good job, to your point, is they shut the run game down and made Joe Milton be a player or have to make plays to beat him. And Joe Milton is when he's playing comfortable, he can hit those deep shots. He can hit those sometimes he can hit those 20-yard shots. But the thing about it is sometimes when he has to do it, like today, he didn't look good at all, stat guy. And me and you been talked about Milton, so we kind of expected this, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're relying on him to win your football games, you're not going to win many football games.
Big facts, man. Hey, score update real quick. Oregon 19, USC Trojans 7. USC has the ball. It's second quarter, 10 minutes and 41 seconds. USC got the ball on their own 9. BYU, it's getting rough out there for BYU, man. Second quarter, 1 minute and 28 seconds left. It's 31-7 Iowa State.
All right. Score update. North Carolina just completed the 2-point conversion in the second overtime. They're up 47-39 at home against Duke. Duke's fixing to get the ball in the second overtime over on the ACC network.
All right, let me turn that game on so we can stay in tune to see if North Carolina is
it.
North Carolina actually numerically is still playing. You know what I'm saying, Coach? Diamond Sports Case? Nah, I hadn't heard anything about Diamond Sports Case, Nathan. Tell me what that is, and we can Diamond Sports Case. Let's see what that is. I'm always down to know some. Diamond Sports reaches agreement with. You talking about the agreement with the NBA? If so, come back on Wednesday at 8:00 for the Chuck and Buckets episode on the Fanatic, and we will definitely get into that about the bankruptcy case between Diamond Sports. So, but yeah, man, go ahead, C-Walt. My bad, I cut you off with the score update.
Oh no, you're good. I was just gonna say I've been pretty high on Missouri this year, even from the start of the year. My boy Eric down in the comments who commented earlier, we grew up, we're real good friends, and I told him I thought that would be Georgia's one loss. I was wrong, but it was a pretty good game. But so I kind of figured Missouri would go. I'm not gonna say handily beat Tennessee, but I figured that they could beat them head up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, listen, Missouri, listen, I think they're always a tough-nosed team. I think they played us good last year, you know. But you know, I didn't know how the game was going to go. You know, I feel like we was going to win last week. You know what I'm saying? I thought their defense played way better than I thought they were going to play last week. Yeah. They played way better today. And that goes to Shorty's point, because before last week, they were giving it up freely to anybody who wanted it. You know, it's like, listen, man, I'm talking about beating, like I say, man, you know, you in the games, you beating people 49-39 and 45-29. It's like you just giving it up. And then all of a sudden it's like, they was like, you know what? This goes back to what we was talking about with the Colorado. At some point, you just got to be like, look, stop all that fancy stuff. Let's just blitz. Like literally, they came into Athens last week and said, we ain't playing a whole bunch of crazy coverages. We're playing man to man, and we send in the house. That's what we're doing. Live with it or die with it. That's what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to Mizzou, man. Mizzou, they still haven't clinched up second yet, but if they win one of these next two games, then they're good to go as far as second in the. They either got to beat Florida or Arkansas. They don't have to win both of them because Tennessee now has 3 SEC losses. So
Duke's staying alive over here.
Can I pose the question?
Yeah. I was about to say you didn't get to get in with the Missouri, Tennessee, did you?
I need to touch on that before I pose.
No, go ahead and pose your question if it's about unless this is a different subject.
Yeah, it's a little bit different subject.
Oh yeah, go ahead and give us just your overall. I know you talked about not knowing what to expect from Missouri, but just overall thoughts on that win today.
Yeah, I thought it was we're talking about projection. Finishing up, they're finishing now. Now, it kind of really takes it.
Okay.
I think it's a big win. My question is, so now how do all these other teams all the same? Not only speak about it.
So we talking about the SEC East?
I'm talking about teams in general.
You kind of like, so I think you got a directional mic, Shawty. You don't have
it brand new. My bad. I ain't even had.
Yeah, so you got to be right. Yeah. It sounds good when you got it. Yeah. There you go.
My bad. But what I was trying to get at, just in terms of trying to piggyback off of that, kind of segue into what I want to ask my question about. Like I say, Missouri win over Tennessee, I think was a great win for their program.
Okay.
Especially with no one that I do is considering them to finish second in the SEC.
I don't think so.
I think they have overachieved this year. Once again, it's going to be about their consistency moving forward. Yeah. But what my question I want to pose to the panel, Penn State, Kentucky, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Kansas State, not Kansas State, but Kansas. At the end of the day, the goalpost was moved at some point during the season. Everybody thought they was better than who thought they were. At this particular time in the season, that's like same old thing. Who's on the hot seat? So that sandwich, I keep telling y'all about that sandwich.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was in the Penn State Nation, donor, whatever it is, I'd be real with you. Knowing the history of other teams, like you say, why not me type ideology, going into next year, James Franklin's on the hot seat. Like,
Arkansas,
sure.
I forgot about them.
Yeah. Arkansas, to be honest with you, I love Sam Pittman, but if I'm Arkansas, he's gone.
I think he's gone this year, man.
I think he's gone. I mean, you
not the nice guy.
Listen, it is what
I need.
it is.
I need him in Clemson as O-line coach. So go ahead and let him go.
No, he's gonna
like that.
He's gonna be an analyst on our staff until Stacey Searles get a better job, and then he's gonna be back with Kirby.
He might end up back at UNC. You never know, right?
But Kansas, and I'll let everybody go on each team, but Kansas, I think Leopold is doing a good job out there. I think it's Kansas, so I think that he has more time. I'm not saying they don't want to win, but they are a basketball school. I think he has more time than the other aforementioned, schools. But I think he's doing a pretty decent job considering the guy that was supposed to take them there at QB got hurt. And then they went with Beam, and then today Beam got hurt, and they still, almost won. So I think I think he's good. OU, I think Brent Venables is going to get a little bit more time, but there's some signs there that changes need to be made coming into the SEC. I know a lot of OU fans want to fire the OC.
It's got the number one scoring offense in the Big 12.
Yep, you're right. And to your point about like Colorado, Brent Venables, even if you want to fire Jeff Lebby, at the end of the day, some of this stuff he could have controlled during the game. And I think some of the OU fans have agreed with that. I think they still, high on him. I think he's second year being a head coach. I don't think he's on the hot seat, but I think some changes got to be made because of some of the decisions that was made the last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? So Kentucky, I'm standing firm on that, dog. I don't think Stu's going nowhere.
I don't think he is either, man.
And it's not
wins for Kentucky is going
to
be a good year.
It's not that they don't have at least one donor that's like, yo, man, we can be better than this. But I feel like the majority of the donors, the power play people in Kentucky, like, look, man, we good. We went to a bowl game. Rick Pitino, get your act together. Like John Calipari, John Calipari, my bad.
You know what? I'm saying that mindset, and it shouldn't take you. You can have two teams come to the conference. They're gonna already be better.
I just don't know if Kentucky if it is.
Look,
I'm just saying that, but that should change the mind.
I think it should, but like if we think about it historically, the OUs and the Texas, they're football programs. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they're good at basketball, but they're football programs. They win softball, whatever it is. OU. I think what it could do, what would change Kentucky's mindset, is if a program like a Mizzou went to the playoffs. I don't care if it's the 12-team playoffs, because the reason why I say that is Mizzou is on the level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Kentucky sees themselves on this level. I don't think they see themselves on the Georgia, the Oklahoma, the Alabama, the LSU. I think Kentucky sees themselves on a level with Arkansas, on a level with Mizzou. Listen, overall, now, I'm just saying.
But Shorty don't like that because he wants everybody to play for it.
Now, hold on. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish out the ones that he brought. Yeah, I'm gonna finish out the ones he brought up, and then we're gonna go around. So South Carolina, me and Stat was talking about this. I'm gonna be like this. I feel like Beamer's not the head coach guy. I'm sorry, he's just not. I feel like he should be on the staff though, because he is a great recruiter and he's great at special teams. Now, he's not gonna take a demotion. I already know that. But I just like it's going to be more of the same every year. It's going to be a whole bunch of hype, and it's going to be 8-5 at the best. like OU and Texas coming in, it's not getting any. Let's just say the outlook is not getting any better, regardless of who you're trying to bring in. Sellers seems to be a great athlete, but I can't see him playing the quarterback position better than Spencer did this year. So, but that's my thoughts on all of it. At the end of the day, I feel like out of all those teams you brought up, honestly, personally, I think James Franklin should be more on the hot seat than any of them other coaches. He's had longer than those other coaches. He's got more backing. I ain't gonna say resources, but backing. You know what I'm saying? Than the other coaches. Now Arkansas got the resources. He's next in line. I think it's Franklin.
Higher expectations too.
Yeah. Higher expectations. Arkansas, I don't think they expect to win championships or compete for the SEC on a regular basis. I feel like Penn State feel like they should be competing for the Big 12, Big 10 area. So I think, honestly, if he's number one, but stat guy. So we got Penn State, Arkansas, South Carolina, Kansas, OU, Kentucky.
Yeah, so Kentucky and Kansas, I take out of the equation because they're basketball schools. I think as long as those guys want to be there, they'll be happy letting them be there, just run around, do whatever, especially with them winning and going to bowl games. Sam Pittman, to me, he's hot after this year. There's kind of some fire. Maybe some changes need to happen. I don't see it getting much better next year, and he's probably fired after next year. Personally, I think James Franklin has to go. I think they need to pull the plug this year after the season, let him out. Probably won't happen, but if I was running the university, hey, thank you for your service. You turned us from a dumpster fire with everything that was going on in the media, got us back respectable. We appreciate you. Now it's time to go try to get somebody to win football games. With OU, I think that OU's moved the goalposts, which has definitely hurt Brent Venables now with how things are going. Obviously, we know from the fan side of things they want Jeff Lebby gone. We don't know if that's internal within the program, so I'm interested to see what happens with that. My thing, they're going from having 4 or 5 cupcakes within the Big 12 that they can just roll off the bus and beat, to now they're going to find themselves in some dogfights against middle-of-the-road SEC teams. I'm very interested to see what happens if they do not keep up their winning ways and they kind of stay 7-5, 8-4, how long that leash is. When it comes to Beamer, I will let you know right now, Beamer has until Christmas Day to fire Clayton White. And if he does not fire Clayton White, our defensive coordinator, by Christmas Day, they can go ahead and give him his final paycheck too and say, hey, good luck to you. Now, he probably won't fire him until after the bowl game, but Clayton White's got to go. And if Clayton White is still on this staff come August of next year, then Beamer better pray to the heavens that we go 8-4 at minimum next year, or he's going to be packing his office up with Clayton White. Because it's just inexcusable. Your defense can't be this bad. You can't come out on Tuesday and be like, oh, man, our freshman quarterback be dotting our defense up during practice. Like, bro, like, you know how bad that makes us look? Like, it don't make the freshman quarterback look good. It makes us look bad. Like, come on, man. It's just, I don't know. He's got to go. And so I think if Beamer does that, I think between the recruiting class we have coming in the next year, what we've started to lay with Foundation in 25, I think Beamer has another 5 years of guaranteed coaching in him if he'll make that move at defensive coordinator. And he's kind of on the similar track as Kansas and Kentucky because the school loves him. He loves the university. He loves the state of South Carolina, and I think that'll buy him some time, whether it should or not. But I know Shorty will hate this, but look, man, South Carolina will make the 12-team playoff one day in my lifetime. But and I'm going to say we're going to make it. I'm going to say we're going to make it in 2026. And Illinois Sellers is going to win the Heisman. Don't put in your money on that, but that's just what y'all hear me say for the next 2 years. But the thing is, we're not a national championship football team. We're just not. Like, that's just not who we are. 8 wins is cool. 8 wins and beating Clemson every year for the rest of my life. Sign me up right now. I'll donate a kidney, whatever it takes. But we might get back to the Spurrier days of 3 straight 11-win seasons, but probably not. Like, it had never happened before. It finally happened, and now it's gone as soon as it came. So that's just not who we are as a football program. And if I, as a fan, move those goalposts to having that as my expectations, now I just go to bed pissed off every Saturday night. And that's not
You
fun.
did it. You did it at the beginning of this year.
Yeah. What do you think I've done every night this year? Gone to bed pissed off. But I did. I felt our defense was going to be better than what it was. Our offense hasn't been bad. Spencer Rattler has played good enough for us to be a 10-2 team this year. And our defense hasn't backed us. And that's just plain and simple. I mean, that's the case. So, yeah, that's what I said at the beginning of the year. Wrong. I was wrong. And so now we're fighting. Now we have a slogan, November to Remember, trying to make a bowl game. Like, that's now, but as a South Carolina fan, and South Carolina fans are great about this, the place was packed in the pouring rain today. They were loud and
well, we already know that, dog. Y'all sold out every game in the 0-11 season and the 0-11 season back to back. Y'all definitely. I keep telling people y'all the most loyal fans in college football. I don't know how y'all keep doing it, but you do it. Steve B, when we was talking about Oklahoma, Steve B said Levy was good tonight. Listen, man, that's all I'm saying is I know the fans, the 2 losses, they was all on Levy head, you know what I'm saying? But, things you can't lose. I can tell you this, you ain't getting fired from 2 games. You might get fired if you have a whole season of that. But he was, pretty decent in those other wins and in the wins, you know what I'm saying? So you got to take it or love it. But
You know why Levy looked so much better tonight? Because their defense didn't give up 30 points. That's what I've been trying to tell them. Levy is not the problem. I know it don't maybe look good, but you're giving up too many points on defense. If you give the last 4 games before the last game, they're giving up 33 points a game. How do you expect to win against big teams like that?
Big facts. Big facts. So we talking about, and I'm gonna let you get in there on those teams too, man. And we're gonna add one here. Nathan says, who ends up at Michigan? I'm assuming you think that because of the suspension, and I'm with you. I think Harbaugh is gonna go to the NFL. He got too many rules for me, that type of thing. So he wants to know who ends up there. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Could be Mike Elko from Duke. He's gonna be a hot name because I think he went into Duke last year thinking like Shawty always say, why not us? And he's done a hell of a job at a school that's like academics are so high that they, the only reason why they right up under the Ivy League type deal, and they still out here putting on a good product on the field.
Playing a 3rd string freshman quarterback.
Bruh, like this dude is out here, actually coaching football. So Mike Elko is going to be a hot name. If he's leaving Duke next year and Jim Harbaugh is leaving, I would put Mike Elko at the top of that list. All right, Seawalk, you got Kentucky, got South Carolina, got OU, got Kansas, Arkansas, Penn State. Hot seat meter.
Kansas. I think he's okay. I think he's still got a little more time. 6-7 wins. It's going to be hard to fire somebody at Kansas. Historically, I mean, Charlie Weiss had to lose a lot of games.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish that until they finish their expansion. They just donors. They just put out like a $100 million improvement for their sports, mostly football. So once that's finished, I think some of their expectations could change. But yeah, go ahead. See, you right.
Yeah, when you put that money into it, that changes it a lot.
Yeah.
So let's see. We hit Kansas. I'm gonna go to Michigan real quick.
Okay.
This is more of a joke. They might hire Desmond Howard because that dude's got blinders on right now. He don't see anything wrong with what's going on. But I like what you said. I like what you said, Elko. He's done an amazing job at Duke. Penn State, I think Franklin's got another year. The one
should he though?
Should he? Probably not. But
everything comes back.
The coaching pool is very small to replace Franklin at Penn State. In my opinion, the name that I would throw out for Penn State if Franklin were to be fired would be Stoops from Kentucky. I've always thought Stoops would do a pretty good job up there. I've said that for
better talent, more
years
resources
now. Yeah. I've always thought Stoops would fit that role pretty well.
Hey, that's a good one, Seawall. We got to mark the tape, baby. That might happen.
How about that one now?
That could be trouble for the Big Ten right now.
You see what he did with Kentucky when he came in. They got him consistently 7, 8, 9 wins for the most part.
Hey, Seawall, but just the name itself rings bells in that area of the country.
Oh yeah. And then who else we got? I'm gonna save South Carolina for last. OU. I think Venables is fine. I think it's gonna take until he gets into the SEC, maybe year 2. If year 2 is not going well in the SEC, I can see the hot seat lighting up pretty well because he's doing a pretty good job recruiting over there right now. So
yeah, and I think he's all right. He's still on track. Like I said, I don't think he's on the hot seat or anything like that because I think he's on track to finish 10-2. But like you say, those first 2 years in the SEC gonna tell us a lot.
Yeah, Arkansas. I think Sam Pittman's done this year. I think he's gonna be fired. It's just they've gotten worse outside of the first 2 years. They've got worse every year he's been there. So I just don't see it going in the right direction. And I think Pittman comes to Clemson as our O-line coach, or at least I hope. Who else we got? South Carolina.
That's it. South Carolina.
Okay, South Carolina. Jeff, stat guy. I never thought Shane Beamer was the right hire for that program. I mean, I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good motivator. I think he tries to be like his dad and a little bit of Dabo-ish, kind of motivate the players, right? But I don't see Beamer being any different than Muschamp was. And after about 3 or 4 years, the fan base just threw Muschamp to the wolves, man. And I'm not saying they shouldn't have, because I didn't think Muschamp was a great coach there either. But I just don't see any progress being made. That it looks like the same path Muschamp took in Carolina.
I think you own to something, Seawall. But I think to Jeff's point, they like Beamer. I don't know if they ever liked Muschamp, but
we never liked the Muschamp hire.
But to Seawalt's point, up until this point, I actually think these first 3 years, either Will Muschamp's record is better or it's the same. It might be better.
They're pretty much identical. But to that defense, Shane Beamer is Dabo Jr., which I hate. And if I was going to fire him, it would be because he has the personality of Dabo.
Oh, they're buddies.
Clemson didn't fire Dabo after 3 years. They gave him 6, and he won him a natty.
Yeah.
So they just got to give him time and see if the kumbaya plays out. And you have to sit through horrible post-game interviews.
So you need 6 years, man? That's how many you need?
Why not? It took Dabo 6 years at Clemson. Why not?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Year 3 for Dabo.
Didn't he win the
year
ACC?
3 for year 3 for Dabo was much different than year 3 for Beamer. Wins and losses wise. Like our losses weren't as bad as the losses y'all are getting though.
We have 6 losses. 4 of those losses are on the road to top 25 teams. The other 2 losses are Florida at home, which should have never happened, and North Carolina week 1 when they were a buzzsaw.
But look how they played in those losses. It was ugly.
No,
it's not getting better. It's getting worse. The play on the field is getting worse for the Gamecocks.
We gave Georgia all they wanted in week 3. We gave Georgia all they wanted in week 3 on the road.
Yeah, but that's rivalry. Those games are completely different.
Oh,
though,
no.
No. It's a rivalry. Hold on, hold on. It's a rivalry for South Carolina. It is not a rivalry for Georgia perspective.
Well, I mean, you could say the Clemson Carolina game ain't a real rivalry either, based off of
No. Y'all hate Carolina and they hate y'all. The only time the Dogs care about Carolina is like that is the week we're playing. The rest of the time, we don't really. It doesn't really matter to us. They're a really important SEC opponent.
It's a conference game.
Yeah, so
I get it.
And just a sidebar, Nathan, we wasn't talking about Kansas State. We were talking about University of Kansas with Lipo. So we wasn't talking about Kansas State coach at all.
But the real thing to finish off Carolina real quick though is I don't think that program gets better regardless of who runs it, as long as Ray Tanner's the athletic director.
I don't think stat guy throw too much.
Ray Tanner to me is
too much interference on that one.
Been gone years ago.
I don't think Stat's gonna throw too much interference on that one.
But you know
Hey,
what?
Steve-O,
He's got back.
that was the most conviction in your voice I've heard all night. You said it like you meant it, like you knew that.
He is. I mean, everything he touches falls apart except for the baseball program he coached.
For real. So hey, listen, I'm gonna give Stat credit. Stat's been calling for that firing a long time. So
I
man,
was calling for that after the hand-picked job he did, buried our baseball program. I was like, if you can't fix the one sport that you were good at, time to go.
Exactly, man. Hey, man, welcome into the show, Jason from Hall of Fame College Football. What's going on, Jason?
Jason.
Man, it's been a day today, man. I can't get my studio stuff all screwy, man, my microphone. So I don't know if you guys can hear me very good, but I'm on the phone. So.
Yeah, man.
Happy Veterans Day, sir.
Happy Veterans Day, man. We gave you a shout out earlier in the show when you was doing your show, but yeah, we can hear you, man. The AirPods will be sufficient for tonight, man. We talked about the 12 o'clock slate and the 3:30 slate, and then Shawty posed a question about some hot seat jobs. We'll let you get in on the. We won't go around the whole round table for hot seat jobs, but we will let you put your opinion in on what you think needs to happen at OU. And we'll talk about the game, later. But OU was one of the schools he brought up, and like what needs to happen. How long does BV have? Does he make changes after this year? Things like that.
I think BV has at least 4 years before they're going to do anything about anything. And I don't know why you wouldn't give him that with the way he's recruiting. And now they're now at 8-2, chance to win 2 more, get to 10 wins. And with the way things are, thank you, Stevie. Appreciate that. With the way things have been, recruiting wise, he salvaged the top 10 class in about a month and a half. Whenever he got there, he was able to get a top 4 class his second season, and he's about to put together the best defensive class in Oklahoma history. Looking at, hey, what's up, Nate? How's everybody doing? Look, I don't think that this is a BV problem. I think that any issues that they've had so far, we can say that the defense wasn't great over the past few weeks, and it wasn't. I think there wasn't any complimentary football being played either. And some of that has to do with it a lot. When we talked about the Okie Light loss last week, the things that they didn't do a week ago, and the week before that, and really the week before that, they did that this week. They continued pounding the rock. You had more carries for Gavin Sawchuk tonight than you've seen him have all season. Hell, Dylan Gabriel broke a record at Oklahoma today with 8 total touchdowns, and they put up over 600 yards and 69 points.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel had himself a day today.
Listen, and he started off kind of slow, to be honest with you. The only thing he was doing was running the ball good early because he wasn't throwing it very well. He was missing some shots. Overall, he didn't throw any interceptions. They took care of the football, and look, there's some times that the defense needed to step up, and I mean they had another goal line stand down there, stopped them getting out of the goal at the goal line. Look, they looked good, and they gifted them 7 of those 21 points was another gift from the Big 12 refs on, they got them on a defensive pass interference call. You didn't get any of those calls last week, but what we talked about before, Oklahoma did not allow the officials to control the game or to have any effect on the end of the game. So that was the main thing for me. Look, they still got to continue doing what they're supposed to do, but they're gonna give Brent Venables his time.
Yeah,
they're not gonna fire him.
So I was saying earlier, man, I know OU fans was mad at Levy the last 2 weeks before today. But prior to that, he hadn't done a bad job. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he was, Todd Monken or anything like that or Mike Bobo, but he was out there. He was getting it done. Y'all had like one of the highest scoring offenses in the nation. So what do you think happens to Levy? You think Levy's good for next year?
He had the highest scoring offense in that conference.
Oh, well, no, at one point they was point differential. They was scoring, just average scoring. They was like top 5 or 6 or 7. They was like right there. Like before the Kansas. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I think Levy is good, but I mean some OU fans might think different.
Well, I think that his play calling is a little uneven, and it's just there's some things that you want to see him clean up as far as timing on some of the calls too. You know what I mean? If you're going to be the trickery and stuff like that and the gimmick, you're at Oklahoma, man. You don't have to do that shit. That's just. And when it seems like last year I've talked about it enough, to be honest with you. I'm kind of old, but I'm not in a hurry to jettison Jeff Lebby.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I don't think that it has to be something, and look, chances are you might lose. You could lose, Jackson Arnold with him. Now, that being said, I'm not as sure that I was before that he would be leaving with him, because he's already slated to be the starter at Oklahoma next year. Right? And I think that they already have, well, they either have the heir apparent right there, or they could be going after Sean Lewis too, which runs a very similar offense. I don't think you necessarily run off.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I don't think that they necessarily want to fire him. But I've heard a lot of crazy stuff all week, And my feeling was he was either going to call a really, really good game, or it was going to be really bad.
I got you. Shawty, you had some thoughts?
Yeah, it looks like you got something to say. Go for it.
I have it's more of a question. That might be too. I just don't know how you guys are just so willy-nilly to get rid of the conference leading quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the conference.
I think he got another year.
Know what I'm saying? And they just let's get rid of him and put the other. Who does that?
Brother, I've not said that. What I'm telling you is that is the plan, is to bring in that 5-star and play him next year.
Why? What has DG done to lose the job?
I didn't say he had. I didn't say.
No, I'm asking. I'm asking. Like, where has this guy has done this so bad to be the number one offense in the conference? It can come back. You're going to go to a tougher schedule, possibly. Conference.
Yeah, just your thoughts, Jason, on what the OU fans that's ready for Jackson Arnold to be in, or the plan that you think it is. Why would that be the plan if DG wants to come back? Because I'm gonna tell you, wouldn't nothing help you more than to have a seasoned QB that first year in the SEC.
Look, hey, I am telling you that I agree. I agree. There is a certain segment of this fan base in particular that is going to say, hell no, they don't like him. They don't think his arm's big enough. And look, to be fair, and look, he's completed over 70% of his passes this season. So we don't have to be crazy here. He's only had 5 interceptions. He's now has 11 rushing touchdowns, and over I think it's 26 passing TDs or something like that now. 25, 26.
25.
This is my personal opinion. The difference in I said on your show Thursday, it's very realistic that you guys could come in and go, 10-2, 11-1. But it's also realistic that you could come in and go 75, 8-4. And I think the difference in those two, as good as Jackson Arnold, I think he is. That may be because I'm very high. I was very high on Jackson Arnold coming out.
He won the Elite 11. We know that he can play.
Yeah, but to have somebody that's seen so many defenses, and we all know even the bad teams are gonna put better defenses in front of you. I think that's where the difference could be. You know what I'm saying, with that season, because even at a school like a Georgia, who they put up the thing today, we got 42 4 and 5 stars. Total. There's only 2 teams that's got more than that, and that's Alabama and Ohio State. Even at a school like Georgia, it was an adjustment. We at the beginning of the season for sure, and still with the threat of the run from Stetson Bennett to Carson Beck, who had been there for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. And I know you. Again, we know you don't feel that way, but that segment of the OU fan base that feels that, I guess that's just I want the new shiny toy. Yeah, I want the new shiny toy.
I'd have Seawall. How many people, you thinking about it, how many people were ready to see Cade?
Last year,
I'm one of those people, but there's a big difference in our situation. We didn't have a quarterback that threw for 25 touchdowns and rushed for another 11. Like we had a quarterback there were a lot of issues with the team, but the quarterback, when you watched him play, was not good.
He wasn't helping, and he didn't have the resume that Dylan Gabriel has.
Yeah. So our situation a lot different than having a guy like Gabriel and then having a 5. I get the 5-star. I get it.
So my guy Steve B says,
I'm not gonna sit here and kill it, but he did. See, here's the thing, and you're gonna see stuff like this a lot. He missed 4 wide open throws. He's late on his deep ball. That's my one criticism of him. If he comes back, I'm okay though. Now look, that's the thing.
That's all I'm saying.
He's not perfect.
Yeah. But
perfect.
no, you should welcome DG if he comes back. And I'm just saying I know some people have their own quarterback succession plan.
People are so freaking. That's right. And look, I'm going to tell you now. I think that if Dylan Gabriel wants to come back, particularly if they win these last 2 games,
yeah.
If they get an opportunity to play for the conference championship, and he's done what he's done here, then I think that, I think he's probably going to get a shot. I think that he'll probably come back because I don't see him getting drafted.
I think he comes back.
Yeah. I think he comes back to try to, for one, because this is a deep quarterback class. I don't think this is where you want to come out. And you're going to go
try your luck in the SEC a little bit too. But in the end, everything that we've heard, even coming out of the staff, is that it's probably one and done. Or this, 2 and done basically is what it is. But
he can guarantee himself drafted if he puts some numbers up in the SEC next year, like he's doing this year.
Yeah, sure. That would look so much better. I don't
think he really cares that much about the NFL to begin with. I think he's more about coaching and being, being a role model.
What has the kid done to lose the job?
I didn't say he's lost it. He hadn't done anything to lose it. But if he misses throws and he's behind, and you know that you got a guy behind him that just athletically speaking and throwing the ball wise, he's going to hit those deep passes that you're not able to hit at times. Because last week, I'm going to tell you that the deep ball was there. The deep ball was there, and he freaking underthrew it multiple times. And he does that. And if he would hit him out of the break, he wouldn't have to worry.
Well, I was about to say, you made a good point. You made a good point on your show last week where you said, even when you don't have a strong arm, if you're earlier with the throws,
you cannot be behind if you're not going to have.
I'm gonna tell you what, I'd rather play that whoever the freshman is any given day than DG opening up the season next. If I'm George and y'all on my schedule, put the freshman.
Yeah,
that's true, bro. So listen, I understand that. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
Hey man,
I think that if he wants to come back, I think they should let him. I think that, and even if I'll tell you this much. And I've always felt this way. If
Steve B said he has done nothing to lose the job.
He has done nothing to lose the job.
Let
me say this. Let me say this though. If he goes out there and in spring and in fall practices wins the job,
that's what I like.
But how you gonna win in the spring? You ain't beat nobody.
I'm saying when you in fall practice, if you go out there and you win the job and you're Jackson Hall, you win the job from Dylan.
And what's your record? You ain't beat nobody.
You know damn good and well who the best player is on the field whenever you're out there.
All right, so not necessarily Jason, but I think Oklahoma fan base has the same problem the Clemson fan base had, man. They want the next Heisman quarterback, and that's not DG. Clemson had the same problem, man. And you see this 5-star who's got all the tools, and that's what they want. They don't really appreciate what they've got right now.
Yeah. But so, man, just to touch on quickly, man, listen, OU got a huge win over what I would consider a good West Virginia team. CJ Johnson, I think you guys did
dominated the damn thing.
They did a great job containing him. He got late in the game when the game was already in hand. He got hurt. Hopefully he can play next week because without him, I don't think they win the next couple of games or whatever. Like the dude's a monster, and like I say, you did a pretty good job of keeping that monster in the cage. So definitely better, this week overall than the last 2 weeks for sure. I think you guys still got an outside shot. Some things have to happen, but you got outside.
If you could watch the Okie Light beat down today.
They got hammered.
Do not underestimate the gag reflex of Mike Gundy.
Well, this is the thing. This is one of the things, and somebody said it. I don't know if it's on the radio.
Gag one up again.
Well, it's not even just Oklahoma State, man. This is that time of year where you see teams who used to being in this predicament play like they used to be in this predicament, and then teams that are doing good kind of, butt cheeks get tight, pause, you know what I'm saying? And they can't handle that. Like, I'm be honest with you, that's just what you see from teams that haven't been there before. Look like Louisville. Louisville beat Virginia Tech. They're not used to being 8-1, 9-1. They getting kind of tight. Florida State, it's been since 2013, getting kind of tight. But you see the teams like Alabama rise to the occasion. You see Georgia rise to the occasion. It's like,
and you see Ole Miss gag it up, just like I said it was going to be.
And a lot of teams that hit that, it's the battle of attrition. Like a lot of teams are getting cleaned up. Some of the teams that started getting healthy.
Dylan Brooks went out at the end of the game for Texas. That's their best. Hey, I don't care if Quinn's back or not. Without that running attack, they're in deep shit.
So they pulled out a close one. TCU just quickly. They pulled out a close one over TCU. Still in first place in Big 12. But like you say, lose Dylan Brooks. We're gonna keep our eye on what that looks like next week. If he's out, I don't know what the injury was. I just caught it on the
They were helping him off the field. He never put weight on it on the way off the field on that foot.
So
and he's been dinged up the last few weeks, but they got to go to Iowa. They got to go to Iowa State next week. That's a tough place to play at nighttime. They've struggled with Iowa State in that defense. And if, you're going to have to go out there and hit big plays, particularly if you're not able to run. I mean, they got C.J. Baxter, and he's played pretty good. But Blue really hasn't done much this year. They're going to have to rely on running backs that aren't Dylan Brooks. Yeah. Or they got to rely on Quinn going out there. And I'm telling you, he's been checked down Quinn all season.
So Steve B says it's either an ankle or a knee, and they helped him all the way to locker room. That's not a good sign. Right. That sounds like it may be high ankle sprain type deal. Maybe, hopefully, for his sake, it is like a sprain and not like a tear for the ACL, or MCL, or anything like that. Tightrope surgery. Listen, but shout out to Texas for getting the win. TCU normally plays them tough. It was on the road. Their O-line is going to have to play really good going forward if they don't have Dylan Brooks. But, hey, man, 9-1. So they got 2 more games, and they're still in the lead in Big 12. OU is not out of it. K-State is not out of it. It can get really crazy in the Big 12 because you got like three lost teams, dog. 2 lost teams for Big 12 is whatever. So they could.
What's that scenario, Coach?
So, all right, let me pull up the Big 12 standings. I think it's OU, Oklahoma State, K-State, and I think Iowa State, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on.
It is.
All of them 2 losses. All of them 2 losses. So this is it. Texas is 9. This just in conference. Texas is 6-1. Oklahoma State is 5-2. Oklahoma is 5-2. K-State is 5-2. Iowa State is 4-2, so they're one conference game behind as far as how many they've played.
They have their week off.
Exactly. So they had their week off. So technically, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Kansas State, and Iowa State are all fighting to see who gets in, the Big 12 championship. Now, some of those teams don't play. So, and I don't like stat guy have to be on here and tell you all the rules. He keeps up with all the conference tiebreakers, but Oklahoma doesn't have to play K-State, you know what I'm saying? And
Oklahoma State's beating the crap out of BYU.
I thought if it ain't head to head, it goes to the highest ranked team.
No, not necessarily. It depends on each conference is a little bit different. Like, in the SEC, it might be like that. But
I can look up the rules on it real quick, but it's convoluted, bro.
So they can have a 3-way tie.
So Iowa State, no. So okay, so Steve B gets in and says Iowa State plays K-State the last week, so that's going to take care of one of them. You know what I'm saying? So we got 4 teams.
Iowa State still got to play Kansas as well, or Kansas State still got to play Kansas as well. So that's,
Okay.
I mean, there's a possibility that one could end up.
That one too. But these two right here, Iowa State and K-State, are in it together. Like these both, like Kansas is out of it. But
plus Iowa State's playing Texas next week. So that's the thing, is that there's a lot that can happen. A lot that can happen still. This is not over with.
Yeah. So Texas and Iowa State play next week. So one of them. So if Iowa State was to win, that would create even more of a tie, because then Texas would have 2 losses. Texas would have 2 Big 12 losses as well. And so then you start going.
The tiebreakers go conference competition, all teams. Let's see, two team tie. If 2 teams are tied for first place, both teams will participate. If no game, let's see, win percentage against the next highest placed common opponent in the standings based on record in all games. So
it could get crazy if it's more than 2 teams. And like Steve said, Stephen G says, there's 7 different tiebreaker
win
steps.
Percentage against common opponents is the next one.
Yep, and it could go down to a coin flip.
Combined win percentage in conference games of conference opponents, i.e. strength of conference schedule, which would screw Oklahoma. That's the 4th one.
Yep. So
total
there's
number of wins in the 12-game season.
That'll help Oklahoma. So basically what Steve G is saying, when you start, you go head to head. If it's more than 2 teams, you can't do head to head. Then it goes to the next one. He's saying there's 7 different levels. And at the end of those 7 levels, it's a coin flip.
Head-to-head record against the next highest placed common opponent in the standings.
It's about to get crazy.
So
it could be like this.
Down to no football, but coin.
Hey, if all else doesn't pan out, because they got so many 2-loss teams, and especially if Texas takes another loss. If Texas takes another loss, that's gonna make it even worse. So, hey man, a lot of football to be played in the Big 12. I think the Pac-12 initially was like that, but I think because of Washington's win today, they still got 2. I mean, it still could get crazy in the Pac-12, but not as crazy as the Big 12 though. So, and Michigan kind of took care of the whole round robin in the Big 10 today. If Penn State had won, they would have had a chance to have a 3-way tie there, but hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. One conference we know is already settled is the SEC. Alabama and Georgia meeting in Atlanta, man. Let's talk about them dogs, shawty. I came into the year saying that, when we did the win total game, me and Stat, I said that I had us at 11.5. Of course, never give anybody 12-0 because it's just too hard to go 12-0. Not say we can't go 12-0. And the half game for me wasn't even Missouri. It was actually Ole Miss because of the way they could score, but this year they hadn't been good on the road, and that, came to fruition today.
What I say to you the other night, I said the next time that freaking Lane Kiffin wins the big game will be the first time.
Big facts. And the thing is, the Dogs is dialed in. Shout out to CBF247 on Twitter. He was like, I want to say one of the Georgia beat writers said that Brock was going to play. I had seen another Georgia media member say he wasn't going to play. 26 days later, after Liz Frank surgery, dude's playing just like Tua was playing. And he actually was out there contributing. Like, what's funny, as soon as you put him on the field, you have to account for him. Like, the defense was like, oh, Brock's on the field, let's follow Brock. You know what I'm saying? So
did you see McConkey down the scene? That was all because of Brock.
All because
he had McConkey and he had McConkey, Delp, and Brock on the same side. Delp ran a wheel route. McConkey ran the seam, and Brock ran like a little pole.
Listen, and we had some people out today, but we got some. It's like we've been hurt all year, but we got some people back. And we lost some people. You know, we lost Jamon Dumas Johnson, and that definitely hurt
That's
us
what
in the
happened
first
this time
quarter.
of year, right?
Yeah, we lost him last week. That hurt us in the first quarter. But me and Shawty have both all talked about how good an in-game adjustments our coaching staff is. Shout out to the coaching staff. They made adjustments. One of the adjustments was not playing Raylan Wilson as much. He's going to be a player. His snaps kind of decreased. And, you know, they put another DB on the field at some plays. But CJ Allen, true freshman, and Kirk Herbstreit. I know you probably ain't watching, but maybe somebody that you know is watching. Stop saying everybody's a 5-star for Georgia. CJ Allen was not a 5-star. He was a top 10 linebacker in his class, but he was a 4-star. We coach up in Athens, dog. That's how we do. You know what I'm saying? So listen. The thing is, CJ Allen had some missteps here and there, but CJ Allen played good.
Stop acting like y'all ain't got the best damn roster in the country.
We don't.
I think Alabama got more 5-stars than we have.
Alabama and Ohio State both have more 4 and 5 stars than we do. But I'm not saying that we got a great roster. I'm just saying that's the thing. Like every time somebody makes a big play, they're like, "Oh, 4-star, 5-star." Javon Bullard, probably the best defensive player on the field, 3-star. You know what I'm saying? I'm just pointing out some things. But listen, don't be mad because our 3-stars perform like 5 stars.
And just because they 3, 4, or 5, that don't mean their players, their potential don't equal to the play.
That's right. All of listen. Oh no, you can't go to Seawall. Seawall got a lot of 5 stars that ain't playing up to potential. So we can't 4 stars.
Yeah, but then we got that 3-star Tyler Brown who's playing
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
At the point that he
listen, it's about evaluation, and if your team, whether you got 5 stars, whether you don't have 5 stars, if your coaches know how to evaluate, they get the talent. Man. Exactly. One thing.
These guys. There's a 3-star running back coming to Oklahoma that doesn't go to camps. He's a 3-star. He might be Adrian Peterson. That dude is big and strong and fast.
You know, they like to point it out, but you know, Lad McConkey wasn't no 5-star. Lad McConkey wasn't no 4-star.
As Jimbo about recruiting fast all 5.
You can look at Lad and know that's the case.
But
all
listen,
Jimbo's 5 stars are gone by now.
Listen, can't nobody check Lad. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the thing is they played complimentary football, and they interviewed Carson before the game, and Carson was like, "Hey man, I got all my toys today," talking about his weapons on the outside because Brock was back. Lad is healthy. Or he was. Lad kind of got dinged up and then had to sit out a little bit. But, you know, you had Marcus Roseman, Jack Saint, you got Dylan Bell, you got Rara Thomas, you got Dominic Levitt. Like, these guys all came to play, and the coaches did a hell of a job adjusting after that first 2 drives. Shawty, what you got on the Shawty, what you got on oh, yeah. What you got on the game, Shawty? What's your thoughts overall on that game?
I mean, that's what I was going to say, man. This is one of those very rare games. You know, I'm always very analytical. I always seem very negative when it comes to Georgia, even though I'm a Georgia fan. But this is one of those very few games. Because we did everything we wanted to do. I mean, everything. I don't know what I could say back. The quarterback, the timing was perfect. The pocket was awesome. He never got touched. I don't even think he got a grass stain on his uniform. The timing was awesome. We was able to get. I got a chance to see running backs who I thought were done for the year come back. And from a depth standpoint, that was very awesome. I love everything that I saw. The one thing that I'm gonna nitpick and I'm gonna cry about, folks. Guess what? Where was Dylan Bell?
Well, he only got now. I got it. You know, I always go back and watch it 2 or 3 times, but from what I saw tonight, he only got 1 target. I'm not going to say that he did. He played a lot. You know what I'm saying? He played a lot, so he did his job blocking and running routes or whatever. But I'm gonna attribute it right now before I watch the game. I'm gonna attribute that to Brock being back, because now you got both of your favorite targets. You see what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, Coach. He has proven and shown enough.
Yeah, big facts.
This guy has to be part of the game.
I thought we could. And then he's filled in. I think to your point, we should give. And I just something like you just so Tuesday. I'm definitely gonna give Dylan Bell some flowers because what he's done is whatever's been asked of him. Tonight, he was just asked to be a regular dog lining up. Again, I don't know if that was planned or if just was, with Carson, he has favorite targets. But even in the run game, oh my God, Jason's back. Even in the run game, bruh, and I hit Mr. Milton up. I said the deuce is loose, bruh. Kendall Milton and Dejon Edwards was toting that rock today. You know what I'm saying? Like and when you working like that, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought until we kind of, that last drive right before halftime, I feel like some of the rhythm was off because we wasn't in such a hurry. I think Carson and the offense wanted to be in a hurry, but Kirby didn't want Ole Miss to get the ball back. I thought that was some of that right there, kind of like threw it off. But it started off like we was gonna hit them like Oregon 2022, dog. Like we scored on the first 4 drives, like it was nothing.
Bro,
that was ugly.
I'm sorry.
No, I just said that was a great performance. Great performance by the Dogs. They look better every week, man. They look better every week.
And that's what I was going to say, man. A lot of times, when we have these conversations, it's very hard sometimes to be unbiased. And a lot of times, people think that we may come from certain different angles because, we just Georgia fans. But we come from this particular
That's the way it is.
standpoint. Well, but I'm saying, I can come from the standpoint. I can't even speak to Coach. I'll let Coach speak. I won't put words out. But I've been through not only been a player, I've been through the 30 years plus of mediocrity. Seeing coaches come in, seeing the talent come in, and not developing talent, and having first round players in every position in the NFL. Like, why they get so good when they get in the NFL? They were at Georgia, and they weren't winning no games. So when we talk about development and recruiting, that's where I come from. Trust me, I don't try to be, a hate, because I'm not. It's not in my bone. But I say all this to say this here. I watch, and our coaching staff is by far better than 95% of what I saw. A lot of plays, a lot of game plans, just the way things are run, Kirby would never let happen.
Big facts.
So that's why I have to give credit to whoever was coaching this year today. I'm going to run the ball 35 times and do nothing else. And guess what? My head coach and OC on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're going to do until they stop us running. And that's what we kind of.
Yeah, and to your point, Charlotte, I agree with all you said, and that's why I brought up the Kurt Herbstreit thing. It's not just Kurt Herbstreit; it's every announcer. Every time, and this goes back to what Charlotte said. Every time we have somebody make a play, it's like, oh, that's just another 5-star. It's just another 5-star. You still have to develop the talent. It doesn't matter what
it is. Yeah,
exactly. And this is the thing. And I know some of the younger dog fans, the newer age dog fans,
5-stars anyways. It's just
true.
You can be a 5-star and be a bust.
But to my point is, some of the newer and younger dog fans, they'll see a, Sonny Michel or somebody that's really good for the dogs and be like, oh, he's the best ever in the dog nation. Like, when I was in school, one of the frustrations was we had so much NFL talent and we couldn't win.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we know about Jalen Carter. Everybody today knows about Jalen Carter, knows about Devontae Wyatt, knows about Jordan Davis. But, bruh, I'm going to tell you right now, it'd be hard for me to also pick them dudes over Richard Seymour. Like, we had some Geno Atkins. We had some dudes.
Listen, bro, I can tell you 3 first rounders on that same line. Richard Seymour, Charles Grant, Marcus Stroud. All of those first 20 picked in the first round. They all played on the same.
And this is not even a slight again because I love Mark Rick and he took us to the point where he showed us what we were supposed to be. But to that same point, we had Matthew Stafford, AJ Green,
that's right,
and No Sean Marino on the same team and still didn't win the SEC. That's what I'm saying. So, like what Shawty saying, like, what's going on, Chicken? Appreciate you, my guy. That's right, man. Listen, man, Chicken. Hey, I know some of y'all already did it, but if you haven't, man, listen, man, we're giving some good content, man. We got an ACC representative, a Big 12 representative, and some SEC guys, man. Y'all go ahead and hit that thumbs up, man. But that's what I'm saying, man. The development and even the in-game adjustments, man. Like, me and Shaw have been kind of harping on that first drive defense. We've been giving it up. Listen, you want to score on Georgia? Come on down for the first drive, dog. We'll get it to you. But it's like, come on in, dog. You want 7? Come on in here for this first drive.
We gonna spot you.
But it's almost like we play such base everything, and then they say, okay, now you got your 7. We know what you're gonna do now. Let's turn up the heat. And they do, and not every coaching staff can do that. Mike Wilkerson say, hey man, hey, we appreciate you, Mike. That's right, man. It is getting late, man. I got y'all in here.
I gotta get to
man.
Work, man.
So I appreciate all y'all for coming in, man. It's been a really good day of college football. Listen, lots to play for all the teams, represented on this panel. We're gonna keep doing this thing every Saturday, man. 10:30 p.m. on the Saturday Night Snap Count. Shawty, tell the people where they can find you before we get up out of here.
Yeah, guys, y'all can find me on YouTube every Wednesday night at 9:30. Just my damn opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. It's what your boy got one too. Catch me on YouTube Wednesday nights at 9:30, man. Best thing about my show, you can say what you want to say. It's just your damn opinion.
We had a blast on your show the other night, brother.
We did. Listen, man, y'all make sure that y'all get over there. Listen, don't just go check the show out, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the bell notification so you'll know when Shawty dropping the things, man. You know what I'm saying? Seawalt, tell them where they can find you, dog.
Yeah, you can find me 4th and Goal with Seawalt, YouTube and Twitter. Going to be dropping a video. I actually have it recorded to be out tomorrow for the Clemson Georgia Tech. No problems this week, by the way. Clemson Georgia Tech review of that game. But yeah, 4th and Goal with Seawalt.
Y'all make sure y'all tap in with Seawalt, man. Hey, good college. I can tell you right now, it's gonna be some good college football content, man, because he's a straight up Clemson fan. Don't hold no punches. He's definitely gonna hit the record button this week. So, Jason, man, hey, y'all already know, man, it's the Hall of Fame college football. But tell them where they can find you at, Jason.
You can find me right here, man. I got my toothbrush in the back. This is where I be. So, yeah, here and there and everywhere. But no, Hall of Fame college football with Jason and the coach. It's at CFB-pod. And then at JW_HOF on Twitter as well. And HOFmedia.us. Guys, I do want to, and Stevie G, thank you for that. I want to say,
well, just to that point, we're gonna definitely recognize the veterans again, but we definitely did. Y'all came in a little late, Stephen G. We did that. We took time and we shouted out Jason before he was on the show. So we definitely I actually had a little monologue about that, man, because the veterans means a lot. So, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Jason,
happy Veterans Day, everybody. Jason, like I said, you and I don't think any of y'all know, but I was in the Navy as well. So,
oh man, well, shout out. See why
no,
I know that, dog.
I knew recognition. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, I knew Jason was. I didn't know you were.
Thank you so much for
it's
your
all
service
good.
too, Seawalt, man. I appreciate that a lot. Look, I know, Coach, your wife served.
Yeah.
You know,
hey, I gave y'all. Listen, man, that's right. I gave y'all all a shout out.
big love to her, and to you know, look, I know everybody here has had somebody in their family that served served this country. I know that. It just happens. This is how it rolls. So, big shout out to all those guys. Our new sponsor, we're shout out to him. He's a, former Marine with Devil Dogs Brew and Beans. Guys, go out there and check that out. And that's actually, Coach I he can be sponsored by him as well. So we're going to be passing that on to him too. But look, I just no, man. I appreciate you always having me on, Coach I, and man, I love being here and talking ball with you guys. And hey, man, good week for everybody. You know, right? You know, we go out there and handle some business, and it's always fun to talk ball no matter what. But man, it sucks that this season is already almost over with, man. Damn.
It is. You're right, and it's always good to talk football, but it's always good. It's better to talk football when you're coming off the dub. I can
Hey,
definitely
thank you,
say
Stephen
that.
G. and Chicken.
Yeah, man. So shout out again to all our veterans, especially
sir.
like our guys here at Seawald and Jason, man. And thank you for everybody that showed up today, man, and hung out with us for 2 hours and 20 plus minutes, man. That's dope, man. And Boona Sooner says chicken, go Oregon. Oregon, just one last update. Oregon just scored. It's 29-14.
Chicken cut the shit.
I know it. And chicken took a little stab at Shawty, man. I appreciate all y'all for coming in every Saturday, man, hanging out with your boy, kicking it on the Fan Addict for the Saturday Night Snap Count, man. So we're gonna get up out of here, man. We appreciate everybody. Until next week, we out.